a month for unlimited service. Now we can video chat with the grandkids whenever we want. And our connection is great in Assen. Let's be practical. Why pay more when we can pay less with iConnect? Visit them at the Micronesia Mall, at Gagnon Shopping Center, or the main office in Upper Tumon. iConnect is the practical choice.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
More information.
An explosion and partial roof collapse at a water plant under investigation in Chicago.
Chicago Fire says the explosion shortly after 11 a.m. destroyed a sludge concentration building at the Calumet Water Reclamation Plant on the city's south side. At least 8 hurt, including a man who was apparently entombed by the collapse.
Right now it appears that he has a broken jaw and a pretty badly fractured leg. One patient was lightly trapped. He has a sore leg as well. The other patients were ambulatory on the scene.
Special Operations Fire Chief Tim Walsh.
Preliminary investigation is saying possibly a methane explosion.
The investigation just beginning. Emergency crews remain on scene. No fatalities. In Chicago, Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
School officials in San Francisco say students are safe, but an incident at Balboa High School is under investigation. No details have been confirmed, but several schools remain on lockdown. A senior Republican senator is asking a federal agency to take another look at Google's search and advertising policies.
In a letter to the Federal Trade Commission's chairman, Utah Republican Orrin Hatch raises concerns about anti-competitive practices by Google. Hatch wants the FTC to consider new antitrust complaints since the agency's last investigation of Google in 2013. Other lawmakers have raised concerns about Google's data collection and use of advertising. President Trump recently criticized Google, accusing the search engine of bias against conservative content, an accusation the company says is not true. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The White House says President Trump will sign an executive order tomorrow aimed at strengthening Americans' retirement security. The signing is planned during an event in Charlotte, North Carolina. Recapping Wall Street, a sell-off in the end. The Dow down 137 points, slipping under 26K. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
Apply today for First Hawaiian Bank's United Mileage Plus credit card. And upon approval, you will be entered to win 2 round-trip business class tickets on United. You'll also earn up to 30,000 bonus miles, 5,000 upon opening your new account, and 25,000 after spending $1,500 within 3 months. And you'll get 2 times the mileage on United ticket purchases. Apply by August 31, 2018. Stop by any branch or visit us online at FHB.com. Terms and conditions apply. Sweepstakes starts on July 1, 2018 and ends on August 31, 2018. Open to legal residents of Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands aged 18 years or older. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Visit www.fhb.com/United Sweepstakes for official rules and complete details. Member FDIC.
We get it. Gas and utility rates keep rising with no end in sight. But with Double Play from GTA, you can get an extra sweet summer deal that'll save you extra cash. Sign up today and get 50 megabits per second with fiber home internet, unlimited talk and text, plus 25 gigabytes of wireless data. And new customers get the first month free with no contract. Save over $500 in the first year and get extra this summer with Double Play from GTA. Conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more details.
Stay clean and connected with Docomo Pacific and mobile. For a limited time, stop by any participating mobile store and get a free chamois when you purchase $10 worth of Docomo Pacific prepaid load. Keep your car looking spotless when you go prepaid. With the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. You plus Docomo Pacific, better together. Offer valid while supplies last. Some conditions apply.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 6 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan, and here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. The ballots cast for the top two finishers in the Democratic gubernatorial race last Saturday will be recounted tomorrow. Last night, the Guam Election Commission also deciding to recount the 15th and 16th place candidates in the Republican and Democratic senatorial primaries. The gubernatorial team of Senator Frank Uggan Jr. and Alicia Lim Tiaco officially asked for the recount. They finished second to the team of Lou Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio by a slim 260-vote margin. In reaction to the decision, the presumptive winners, Lou and Josh, issued a statement last night saying they respect and support the Guam Election Commission's decision to conduct that recount. We agree that the public must have confidence in our election process, their statement said. Guam law requires an automatic recount if the difference in votes is 2% or less, but there was some dispute over how to calculate that percentage, and election law is silent on what formula to use. In other news, despite a decision from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services yesterday to allow Guam Memorial Hospital to keep its CMS certification, Hospital Administrator Peter John Camacho telling the Guam Daily Post that GMH is not out of the woods yet. He told the Post yesterday there will be a follow-up visit to verify that GMH has complied with the corrective action plan that the federal agency accepted. Separately, Camacho also warned that the hospital faces possible sanctions from the electrical fire that occurred on Friday, July 27th. The follow-up compliance visit from the federal agency could occur at any time, said Camacho. CMS surveys are unannounced. GMH was at risk of losing millions of dollars in federal funding on October 3rd after an April survey by CMS inspectors found numerous deficiencies that threatened patient safety. But now that CMS has decided to accept the hospital's plan to correct those deficiencies, GMH will keep its Medicare provider status for now. We'll have more news after this.
If you can dream uncommon design and unprecedented engineering, you define the 2018 Lexus. The boldly designed IS Sport Sedan's aggressive design stimulates the senses.
Advanced paddle shifting puts the exhilarating performance of the IS Sport Sedan at your fingertips. With deep, luxurious seating, the ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive.
Put yourself in a 2018 Lexus.
Now with special incentives.
At Atkins Kroll.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a Day. I'm Mark Benventi of Santa Rita, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voice of our community and sharing thoughts and issues that affect us all. It all boils down to our people, our land. Protei Igumamo. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
News time here at The Point is 10 minutes past 6 a.m. The Interior Department's Office of Insular Affairs has confirmed that GovGuam will receive $77 million in Section 30 funding for fiscal year 2019. Delegate Madeline Bordallo advised Speaker Benjamin Cruz of the decision in a letter released yesterday. In that letter, Bordallo wrote that the amount reflects the adjustments for the Guam War Claims Program and from past years' Section 30 remittances to Guam. This year, for the first time, war claims were deducted from the Section 30 amount. $6.4 million in all is being deducted in war claims this year. The Section 30 amount would have been over $83 million if the war claims had not been deducted. In response to the news, Governor Calvo issuing a statement saying this means we'll be able to pay more tax refunds and address other obligations. Speaker Cruz, meanwhile, also issuing a statement thanking Bordallo for confirming our Section 30 estimate and adding that he hopes the governor will rest easy now that the sky isn't falling and the budget is balanced. The now confirmed $77 million in Section 30 funding is about $9 million more than the $68 million the Calvo administration thought might be received. A former land surveyor pleaded guilty yesterday in a land scam case connected to fraudulent land registration issues. dating back to the 1980s. Tommy Anderson admitting to a misdemeanor charge of unsworn falsification and agreeing to assist prosecutors in determining if any others involved in the previous land registration cases are criminally liable. In the mid-1990s, Anderson was convicted of 3 counts of attempted theft as a second-degree felony in a scheme that involved the preparation of false deeds and survey maps of what started out being small private parcels of land and ended up encroaching onto larger areas of public property. A statement from the Guam Attorney General's office yesterday noted that Elizabeth Barrett Anderson, during her first term as AG in the early 1990s, led the investigation that convicted Anderson and others in that scheme. The statement credits the work of Assistant AGs Nick Toff and James Collins in collaboration with the Department of Land Management and Rev and Tax, who uncovered this old case and prevented this piece of public property from illegally falling into private hands. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Right now with a look at weather.
It says here, mostly cloudy and breezy today with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies and isolated showers from Sunday through the rest of the weekend. Southwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour, decreasing 10 to 15 tonight. Highs around 88 degrees. And overnight lows should be about 78 degrees. Sunset tonight at 6:33, and we'll watch the sunrise tomorrow morning about 6:09. And many of us might be on that run from 8.6 miles from Tumon Bay down in Epau Beach up to Two Lovers Point and then back down.
That's right. Yeah,
for all kinds of refreshments. But take a look now at the forecast maps at the weather radar for the National Weather Service, and here's Mike to tell you what he's looking at.
Got some nice west winds out there for us to wake up to this morning, and quite a few clouds actually, but we're kind of light on showers, and that should stay that way. This super typhoon now, Jebi, is continuing to move through the northern portion of the islands, looking very impressive. We'll catch that on satellite here in just a moment. See some rain bands that are going to affect possibly Rota and definitely going to hit Tinian, Saipan. So those guys listening in up there, get ready. You'll have kind of a rough day of weather. We do have a bit of a southwesterly, you see this mess down here on the east side of the storm. That's a part of a monsoon feed that's going to go ahead and track on through here. Actually, that's something you asked me about yesterday.
I did.
And I told you I wasn't sure. Well, now we're a little more sure, and it looks like this is going to drag through here later on, starting today and tonight and into tomorrow to some degree. It's not going to be as significant as the system was last week, but we're still going to pick up probably maybe an inch or two of rain out of this before it's all said and done. Looking up there at Super Typhoon Jebi, starting to take on an annular shape, which is basically a description of something that's ringed.
Holistic.
Yes, it's holistic. It's looking very holistic, but also starting to look like it's getting a little bit of wind shear up on the north side of it. So, but impressive storm. You can see that pinhole eye there. It is classified as a super typhoon, but will continue to track to the west and then curve off to the northwest up towards Japan in the coming days.
All right,
as
so
it pulls away,
a couple of goats and people up in Pagan got to go find a cave or something, I think.
Yeah, they should already be in that cave. It's rough up there right now. But the weekend should get better.
Super typhoon, huh?
Yeah,
that was fast. All right, 6:15, that's news and weather together. Brought to you by Bank Pacific, where others put branches, they place roots.
Don't wait another day and waste another dollar. You can start saving today. At Guahan Insurance Services, we are here to help protect your investment and save you money. We offer insurance advising for business, car, and home insurance. So come and visit us at our new office at Camacho Landmark Center at Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning, and let us show you that you can count on us for all your insurance needs. Call 475-1162.
Thanks so much. Always nice to hear from you. King's Restaurant serving local lunch favorites Monday through Friday, and my favorite part of the week is when I get to say that they've got beef tinaktak. Two reasons. Number one, I like beef tinaktak. And number two, it means it's Friday. So if you haven't got a lunch plan, I just made it for you. Lunch at King's today. Later.
$7 meal from Circle K. Get your choice of 2 Nathan's all-beef hot dogs or a half-pound Nathan's all-beef footlong, a big wrap bag of chips, and any size Polar Pop. That's a giant deal of a meal, all for only $7. Circle K. Take it easy.
Portions of the program also brought to you by Security Title when you absolutely need confidentiality in your real estate transactions.
Are you paying too much for power? Do you want to reduce your energy costs and save some money? Then call Micronesia Renewable Energy and get a solar energy system installed on your roof. Whether it's ownership or a zero money down program, there's never been a better time to go solar. Sign up in August and MRE will pay 1 month of your power bill so you can save even more money. Not a homeowner? No problem. Refer homeowners to MRE and get paid $400 cash. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
Definitely smarter choice, as well as APL, the American President Lines, shipping the future, American Water Tech, smarter water, better water, and Guam Regional Medical City for all of your open heart surgery needs.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Let's just start off with that happy piece of news. 3-day weekend, and when I say you can hear the excitement in my voice of the 3-day weekend, is because we all of us are having 3-day weekend here. So Mike gonna have a 3-day weekend, and Kevin gonna have a 3-day weekend, and Raymond gonna have a 3-day weekend, and the entire there'll be news throughout. There will be news throughout Saturday. I guess we're going to be doing the recount. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But first, welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. This is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray Gibson. You've already heard from Kevin Kerrigan and a bouquet of great news stories for us this morning.
Big news day.
Yeah. So were you at the Election Commission yesterday?
I was not. That happened last night.
Right. So
John O'Connor was there reporting for us.
Okay, and John O'Connor reported that they found a formula that everybody seemed to agree on.
I think they just decided to do the recount.
So,
well, let's forget the math. Let's just count again.
Yeah, we came up with something, and it was less than 2%, and that's what we're going to be going with. So we'll go ahead and do. Did anybody ask the question about whether they had the authority? If they had not come up with a formula, did they have anybody ask a question about whether or not they had the authority?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we found.
But apparently they did, because that's what they decided to do. So they took it upon themselves.
The question was even if it was higher than 2%. Because somebody had opined, and I had reopined on it yesterday, that the Election Commission probably doesn't have the authority to conduct a recount if it is greater than 2%, because the law only specifies that they've got the authority for a recount if it's less than 2%. So you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so they determined that it was less than 2%.
And went forward. We'll spend a little bit of time talking about that because it's going to be fun. It's the continuation of the primary election, the election that never ended. And then you got a couple of other things that are floating around here. Ray Tenorio echoing Ray Gibson. I think, because
that's exactly what I saw, and when I saw it on the paper today, I was like, he must listen to the show.
I've been saying that for weeks.
But whoever's counseling Mr. Tenorio, they should probably be fired, because he should have done this from the beginning. First of all, like I said, and like we said, he should have just owned up to it to begin with.
But
he did own up to it.
Yeah, and apologized a whole lot. But I mean, I think Mike is talking about a different kind of owning up.
Yeah, no, I mean, just accepting
what you wanted to say. I think
he did. He accepted responsibility, admitted he did it, and he apologized profusely.
But I think what Mike is trying to say is that he should have admitted to a different scenario.
Yes.
Yeah. As opposed to, it was this teaching moment thing, and just a couple of guys goofing off.
In other words, he tried to justify what he did, and he should not have done that. He should have just said, hey, man, I made a mistake from the very start, and it would be gone. We wouldn't even be talking about it.
I am requesting an expeditious review of and conclusion to the matter before the Attorney General. I'm confident that I committed no illegal action, and the public deserves resolution on this matter. I've been saying for weeks and weeks now, I think it came up when Chilena Nelson had asked for the update just before the big one-on-one with the candidates over at the Micronesia Mall. And she said, we got to find out some kind of resolution on this thing. Is anybody working on it over at the Attorney General's office? And I thought, you know what? Maybe it seems to me that Ray ought to be asking that question as well, because it had by that time already been some time that this had been at the Attorney General's office. It has now, what's today? The almost the 1st of September, and it's still been at the Attorney General's office for a long, long time. And I think the greater cloud is over Ray Tenorio, and if he wants to begin talking about mounting a successful candidate against a successful campaign against Lulian Guerrero, significant capital spend that she's going to be doing, then we better eliminate this as a question mark on the campaign with the voters. At any rate, you and I can wrestle about that all morning long. 888-8255 is the telephone number. I've already heard from everybody. Mike over there with a look at the weather. He'll get the phone when you call at 888-8255 9888-5874. That's 988-5874. If you've got some interesting video that you want to play along with. Somebody just sent what looks like an interesting video. What is this, Mike? Have you had a chance to watch the whole thing?
It looks like a couple of clerks at a local I guess it's a local Shell station, having a bit of a disagreement.
What the heck?
In front of a customer, by the way.
Oh,
or several customers, as it were.
What the heck?
Oh, here they come to get them out of it.
That's awesome. Okay, here comes person number 3. Yep. This is getting more exciting by the second.
Viral time. Notice the guy. He's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to get in here.
Girl fight. There's a little tickle fight at the gas station, and presumably a gas station here. I said I wanted to pump the gas. No, you pumped the gas yesterday. What could they possibly be fighting over for such a long time? This is a long video. I thought
at this
this
point,
was
they
going to end
just,
up being
the girls.
Short. Oh my God, this is 2 minutes long.
They have locked their hands into each other's hair, and they're like pit bulls. They're not letting go.
I'll leave that up there. Put that on rotate for a little bit. 888-8255. Like I said, that's the beauty of having access to the technology that we can use at will. 988-5874. If you've got some other interesting video that you'd like to share with us, so that we can share it with the viewers of Facebook Live. Let me while I'm talking about Facebook Live, let's go and say hello to everybody. Why don't we?
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
I'm sorry, that song playing while the video of the girls fighting is just, that's just rich. Hey, good morning, Nick Perlowski, Deanna Palmer, Hafaday. Good morning, Ismael, and Nick, and Felix Regis is there. Good morning, Andre Bainham making his way to school today. Juanita Machi. Dora Marie Fergiger, Jeffrey Ojeda. Who else is on this morning? Hey, May Conception. Nice to see you there. James Howard, and he's got something to be excited about. Rita Hugo, Renee, Pat Taitagui, Mana Silva Tyron, Afa Eunice Mendiola, and Dave Duenas. Dave, you're up early. I don't normally see your name until later. Anita Muffness with the little Valentine's eyes there. Always nice to see from my classmate, huh? Doris Doug Mitchell, Charlene Marchessault. And Charlene, can I just say that I hope your husband, I hope that he uses the same colorful language when he's having love talk with you as he does on the actual newscast. I never got around to reading any of that yesterday, did I, Kev? We got to find that Jeff Marchessault story, because he got a pretty mouth and he uses pretty words. Lillian Cruz and Carmen Leon Guerrero. There's Lynn Vince Borja Polino, Therese Matanani, Valerie Lynn Maiga, Ken LG. Pretty Ashley Calvo Rodriguez is there. Hope you're feeling better this morning. Brad Hewitt, Ed Barbosa, and Bob Lizama, Lynn Perez. Brad Hewitt, anybody want to guess when the Uggan Pack leader will call in, setting the time at 6:45? Over and under on that? Really? Mark Cruz. Good to see you there, buddy. Sister Shelley Gibson off island and watching the show wherever she's at. Joanne Cruz, Desiree Braga. Have you ever noticed that girls named Desiree are always beautiful? Just is. Kate Baltazar, Jeanette Gigi Cruz, Derek Munya Canetta from over at Autospot. And I tell you what, Derek, creativity, I want to say, in your marketing, I think has gone a little bit viral, if you will. You remember when Ken Joe did the whole holistic thing, and then they did the send-off with Mike over at AutoSpot? Well, yesterday we were talking about the story of some kerfuffle with the Guam Election Commission, and the idea that there were issues with a computer. The police, were taking a look at it. Everybody was kind of concerned about it, and Joe Slumko over at Megabyte decided that, you know what, with all of this stuff going on, if anybody comes in and says that the people over at the Guam Election Commission are well-trained and exciting, and I forget what the actual verbiage was, but if you just come in and say something nice about the Guam Election Commission, you get 5% off. I thought that was a brilliant send-off, and I thought what a great way to be able to commemorate some newfound notoriety for Megabyte over the last couple of days. Exactly the same kind of thing that my friend Derek Munya-Kanata would be doing over at AutoSpot. And Leah Beth Nahalawa is there. I see Anita Santos and Denise Legaspi. We call her Lady D. Jeff Jones. Hey, good morning, buddy. Jane Sasai. Nice to see you there. Mark Mendiola and Chito De Guzman and Nate Horn. And are there more? Yeah, there is. Mary Park and Vicky Ganashis. Nice to see you there. Did I miss something at the Rotary Club? Did they have a big induction thing going on? Ken Williams is up early. He's going to go squash some bugs a little bit later on. And the beautiful Michelle Peer is online. And Michelle, I've been looking at some of your artwork over at Mosa's recently, and I'm thinking, you know what? I need one of those for my house. Just saying. Just saying. Maybe we could work something out here. 6:28 in the morning, and more of the headlines today. As I said, James Howard with some very interesting news yesterday about the Senate going to vote on the recreational marijuana bill up in the CNMI. Apparently, they have voted on it and passed it. So it's one signature away from becoming the law in the NMI.
Yeah, and 6 votes to 2, I think, is enough to convince the governor to go ahead and sign it.
I think, yeah, you think? So I wonder what that's going to be doing. We were looking for Brad Rosali yesterday. Maybe we'll see if we can work a little bit harder and finding him today. Hey, Ray, come on by the studio upstairs from your favorite Mosa's joint, and then I can take a look at some of the artwork that she's got there. Yeah. Some, I don't know. So I'm looking for something in browns. I know you generally deal with some wilder color, but I'm kind of like that, looking for a rustic kind of island view from the couch at the house. 6:29 in the morning. 888-8255. That's 888-8255. As I said, the big story is the recount is on. The GCC used math, and we talk about teaching moments here, because it's funny. But I'm wondering how many math teachers out there use that as a teaching moment with all of the students in the school. Because there it is. I mean, ripped from today's headlines. It's relevant. People are talking about it. How do you determine the percentage of a difference between a couple of different numbers? And I was able to come up with at least 6 different ways. And the Guam Election Commission used a 7th version of a formula that you could use to determine a percentage. So, a lot of people think that math is settled, and when it's mathematics, it's clearly defined, it's logical. There can only be one answer and one approach to solving a problem. But as we have found, as the Guam Election Commission has found, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And in this direction, I'm delighted, first of all, with the news. I thought they were going to, and I said so yesterday, I thought, you know what, they're going to make the correct decision, and nobody will like it. But in this case, I think they made the correct decision. I think everybody's going to like it. Didn't Lulian Guerrero almost immediately come out with a statement? It's in the paperwork that I've got in front of me today. Hold on a second. It's just fascinating, the amount of paperwork that I've got going into today's program.
They agreed that the public must have confidence in the election process, right?
We respect and support the Guam Election Commission's decision to conduct a recount of the 2018 Democratic gubernatorial primary election. We agree that the public must have confidence in our election process. Now, it's not just this race, though, that the Election Commission is looking at. They're not also looking at a couple of number 15 and number 16 on the senatorial sides.
Right, and remember that happened the last election as well.
Okay, so there's a little bit of work that they've got to do, and it should go fairly quick. My understanding is they've only got the one ballot that they've got to do. It's not like they've got to worry about 3 different pieces of paper. It's all one piece of paper that they've got.
Hopefully, a couple of hours, yeah.
Yeah, so
We'll see.
what time do you think they're going to get started?
I don't know what time, but it's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can line up with Maria Pangilinan and get a sense of what time it's going to be so that we can all have our popcorn and sodas and beer ready. And now this will not give them the authority that they need to certify the results of the election yet.
No, it'll be certified at a later date, but the recount will give us the results that they will ultimately examine to certify.
Okay, because there's still a couple of things that we're waiting for. There's still the provisional ballots that need to be vetted and the off-island ballots that need to come in as well.
Sounds right.
I think so. All right, it's 6:32 in the morning. The Ray Gibson Show continues, but we've got headlines now from the Guam Daily Post. Here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. And the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning: the Supreme Court of Guam ordering a new trial for Adam James Messier after finding that the prosecutor made numerous statements in violation of the defendant's Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Messier was convicted of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child abuse. He was sentenced to 5 years, but Messier appealed the conviction, citing the questioning by the prosecutor of the victim and her sister's motives to lie, which the justices concluded violated Messier's rights because they implied an inference of guilt. The case has been remanded to the trial court for a new trial, and the conviction has been vacated. A proposed resolution will ask the U.S. Census Bureau and Department of Interior to include an earned income tax credit question when counting migrants from the Micronesian islands who entered Guam under the Compacts of Free Association. Legislative Resolution 493 was drafted by Senator Michael San Nicolas. The Compacts of Free Association Amendments Act of 2003 mandates a census of the regional migrants every 5 years, and the latest is set to take place this year. The count will form the basis for the allocation of compact impact funds for Guam. Currently, there is no question on the census survey to ask if the respondent family is an EITC recipient, said San Nicolas. San Nicolas said he met with Lorraine West, chief of the Population Division of the U.S. Census Bureau, to discuss the survey. In that meeting, San Nicolas pointed out that the EITC, which converts into tax refunds, takes a financial toll on Guam taxpayers, and it should be included in compact impact reimbursements. Guam Police Department officers arresting a woman on Wednesday evening after a traffic stop along Route 12 in Agate after they determined she was driving with an incorrect license plate after her previous one had been confiscated. Inside a police interview room, the woman allegedly tried to conceal drugs she had in her possession. 33-year-old Rosanna Fernandez was charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony, as well as driving a vehicle without identification as a misdemeanor. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
Right on, 6:34, that's iConnect time. Swing by iConnect and find out why they are the practical choice. I don't think you ought to spend a whole lot of money for things like your internet and your mobile phone plans, or even push-to-talk. Find out why with a quick visit to iConnect, why they are the practical choice.
Are you paying too much for power? Do you want to reduce your energy costs and save some money? Then call Micronesia Renewable Energy and get a solar energy system installed on your roof. Whether it's ownership or a zero money down program, there's never been a better time to go solar. Sign up in August and MRE will pay 1 month of your power bill so you can save even more money. Not a homeowner? No problem. Refer homeowners to MRE and get paid $400 cash. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
I'll get to a Wendy's break here in just a second. A little bit later on, we've got news that will be brought to you by Furniture Cathy Style. And I want to make a note here. They've got a Labor Day sale for today till Monday, enjoy 15% off blue tags, 20% off white tags, and 25% off of the red tags that they've got in the store. Place opens at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you should be able to start netting some great savings on some outstanding, oh my God, furniture. I finally had a chance to go by Furniture Kathy Style the other day, and you just kind of walk around and you go, I want that, I want that, I want that. Frankly, you'll want to buy extra houses, so you've got someplace to put all of the great furniture that they've got in there. Now it's time for a Wendy's break. They're 4 for $4, giving customers like you great value every day. For just $4, you can now have 8 options to choose from, including your all-time favorites like the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, which technically counts as breakfast because it's got bacon in it. The Crispy Chicken BLT, which also has bacon in it, or the Double Stack Sandwich, all coming complete with nuggets, fries, and a drink. Wendy's, 4 for $4. What a deal for a Wendy's meal.
Guam Regional Medical City. We bring the healthcare advances of the world directly to you. We are an acute care hospital that complements your needs with our robust outpatient specialty clinics. From preventative care to critical care, we strive for consistent excellence at GRMC. Our core philosophy is where patients are partners, which means we work as a team to make a healthier version of you. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu.
What did I have for lunch yesterday? About 8:30 in the morning I had my lunch. It was a Subway Big Hot Pastrami. They're back, but only for a limited time. Tender, juicy beef. Lean stuff, too. Not a whole lot of fat in the pastrami they've got these days. Tender, juicy beef, freshly baked bread, and Big Hot Pastrami at your favorite Subway location today. It's so good you won't want to share. For a limited time at Subway, make it what you want.
Sometimes a penny saved can lead to much more than a penny earned. With GPA Energy Sense rebate program, the power is yours. Earn money back while saving on your monthly power bill. GPA Energy Sense rebate program will help lower your initial costs when purchasing approved GPA energy efficient appliances and upgrades with monthly savings you can expect. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Let me see here. 6:37, almost 6:38, and looking to see if there's any traffic that is worth talking about right now. Over by Ukadu, you might see a little bit of building up there because there's going to be school today. Looking at, where's that, around Woostig? Coming out of Jigo, northbound, actually. You might see a few more cars in traffic. And the intersection leading to Guam Regional Medical City, that's going to be snagged all weekend long. I'll tell you about that here in just a second. Northbound Marine Corps Drive from where the sign says Chicken Joy all the way up to Guam Regional Medical City. You'll start seeing traffic beginning to build up there. Nothing in front of Anderson Air Force Base to speak of right now. Nothing in front of Navy Hospital to speak of. And nothing down in Suma. I guess it's still early in the morning for traffic. But that'll change, and it'll change before you know it. We'll try to stay on top of it. If you see something other drivers need to know about, 888-8255. Got video you want to share, or pictures you want to share, or funny things funny memes that you found on the internet that you want to share, WhatsApp it at 988-5874. That's 988-5874. Right now,
You've been
traffic.
waiting, and now it's here. Furniture Kathy Style's grand opening after 12 months of putting together an exciting, delicious, salivating, full-scale, real furniture store that has absolutely everything you need for a beautiful home. Beautiful textures, up-to-date styles, and prices that will blow your mind during our grand opening. Starting now, Furniture Kathy Style throughout the store. Bargains, bargains, bargains. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Furniture Kathy Style in Hagåtña. Open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Ray Gibson brings you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
I was yakking about Charlene Marchessault, whose husband is Jeff Marchessault. You might know him from as an anchor on the Pacific News Center, and from time to time he will write his own stories, and I got to say, I mean, this is worth watching the news for, is just to see what kind of language he is going to be using. The guy has got just an incredible thesaurus in his head. It's in his actual head, and so I got to say, and I got to read this because I found it so almost amusing yesterday, and I ran out of time before the program was done to talk about it. It was from a story that they'd done on PNC, the bittersweet swan song of a retiring Ways and Means chair. And Jeff begins with a quote from BJ. Says, Madam Speaker, I'd like to add onto today's legislative agenda bills 339 and 340. These are amendments to the budget bill, Cruz told Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi. Such was the beguiling opening stanza of a wound-salted coda to what has so far proven a travailing magnum opus. Cruz's General Appropriations Act of 2019 is a public budget catered by the Federal Tax Cuts and Jobs Act at a time when the local government disbursement still teeters near $1 billion per annum. Even after arguments, confusion, and indecision harassed lawmakers as they ventured a viable spending plan in the face of these unprecedented cuts. And in summoning the Herculean effort required to timely pass the approaching fiscal year's budget before he assumes headship of public accountability, Chairman Cruz has at times failed to conceal frustrations that hint defiance under subtle veils of politeness and contrition. This is, just
entertaining.
Does he kiss you with that mouth? That's just so pretty. It reminds me that I watch a program on HBO every once in a while. Actually, more often than I care to admit, but it's Deadwood, and it's basically a Cowboys and Indians piece that takes place in Montana somewhere, in the Once Upon a Times after the Civil War, and they use language like that. I mean, I've found myself every once I've got to rewind the tape a little bit so I can re-listen to what it was that they said, because they use language exactly like that. Lots of commas, not a whole lot by way of periods, and anyways, it's sweeping. I hope that they continue and Jay, keep this guy. He's just absolutely great for the news, and if for no other reason, because it's that kind of language that I think will have people coming back for more and more and more. 6:42 in the morning, 888-8255. That's 888-8255, and we'll start with Maria Pangilinan from the Guam Election Commission. Good morning, Maria.
Hafaday Ray Gibson.
Hafaday. I love it when you say my whole name like that. Hafaday Ray Gibson. That's just so nice. Okay.
So I'll keep saying it.
Okay. So you're working this weekend, huh?
Yes, sir. We're working, and the GEC folks are working from. We're going to start early to prepare, but the recount will start at 1:30.
1:30 is when the recount will start, and since we only have to process essentially one piece of paper, that is one ballot, what's the estimate on what time it's going to be done?
Well, I'm going to be very conservative, and the commission was very conservative, and they said we should be done inside of 7 hours, but we think it's going to be shorter than that. Inside
of 7 hours. Now, you're going to be looking at two races, as we already are aware. The 2018 gubernatorial primary election. We've got a couple of established leaders here, Lulian Guerrero and Josh, and of course Frank and Alicia. They're separated by 260 votes so far. We'll see what the recount has to say and clarify that question. But my understanding is you're also going to be looking at a couple of senatorial races, right?
Yes, we're actually going to look at both the Democrat and the Republican side.
All right, and I'm looking to see what the difference is between Lacia Casil, 7,521, and William Parkinson, 7,238. That's on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, the difference between Janae Uggins, 1,468, and Ryan Calvo's 1,435. You want to ensure that those totals are accurate as well.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that's based on the decision of the commission last night.
But not necessarily anybody's specific request. I don't recall hearing from Will Parkinson or Ryan Calvo that they were concerned one way or the other.
Well, you know what? After the meeting started, we received an email from Mr. Ryan Calvo, and I'm sorry, it was after the meeting had started that I had gotten a copy of it. So. But yes, you're right. There were no requests before that.
Okay, and so we're not going to be looking at the nonpartisan race between Levin Camacho and I'm going to start referring to him as Doug Gumatautau, if that's all right.
That's all you, Mr. Ray Gibson.
All right, I got you. And so I'm trying to think if there were a couple of other points that I wanted to get through here. Will you be using all of the different machines that you've got, or can all this be done just feeding one machine at a time?
No, if we use the 3 machines and they're running good, and they were checked right before our consultant left and confirmed that all 3 were running good. We will use the 3 so we can make sure that it's done as quickly as we can and as accurate.
Okay.
You know, Ray Gibson, there is a process where we check the machines and we do what is called zero out, make sure there's nothing in the machine. Commissioners sign off on it, and then the count starts.
Now, are you going to be using the old laptops, the old Lenovo laptops, or are you going to be using the new Asus gamer laptop, the tough gamer laptops?
Well, the 2 new laptops were returned, and the Megabyte, the replacements are on order. So they had to be returned, and we will get them, and we don't have them. So we will be using the 2 old laptops.
Okay, that's fine. I kind of wanted to meander into that conversation. I'm sure he was talking about you when Joe Slumka yesterday in the Guam Daily Post was referring to the smart and well-intentioned and good-looking people over at the Guam Election Commission. Did you see that story?
Yes, sir, we did.
All right. So what is the operating system of the Lenovas? Are those Windows machines? Because the story also referred to an incompatibility in the operating system. So I'm curious as to what version of Windows those Lenovas are working on.
So below the 10. The new ones were on Windows 10. I'm sorry, I don't know what the old ones are working on. But I know it's not the 10.
Yeah, so it's not as late as Windows 10. I was thinking, was it 95, Windows 95, Windows 98, XP?
Not that far back, sir.
Okay, not that far back.
Yes.
So maybe something like a Windows XP then.
I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, but so they have been taken back to Megabyte. The new ones have been taken back to Megabyte, and you're going to find compatible replacements for the Lenovo units that you have now.
Yes, that was all taken care of by the 3 people, 2 people in our office and our consultant. So we will get the new one. When we get the new ones, it should be working.
Okay, and for clarity, your consultant from the ballot counting company is already off island.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there a cost that you can put this down to for the taxpayers? I mean, we've already spent a little bit of time, you and I, talking about the costs associated with operating a primary election, for the benefit of the 2 parties here on Guam, and it continues now. So, I mean, what's it going to cost now to conduct this recount, and how many people are going to be involved?
That was my first task this morning, is to make sure that all the different parties and the different organizations that need to know that it's happening tomorrow. So that was my first task. My second task was to sit down and figure the cost for the recount on top of the cost. And we've been trying we have the additional costs because of the because of the special election. So our costs are much higher than a regular primary election.
I will be probably at the beach tomorrow at 1:30, but I'm sure that there are other people who have vital interests in this recount. Will it be open to the public? Will people be able to sit and watch the employees of the Guam Election Commission, agents of the Election Commission, feed the ballots in and then receive from time to time reports?
Yeah, it's pretty restricted. We will have parties represented. We will have candidates represented. Anybody that's going to come into the room will have to wear a badge.
Oh.
Yes, and we will have media reps there.
There will be media reps.
For the media.
I imagine that there'll also be security there to maintain a chain of custody from the ballots leaving your locked facility into the counting room.
It's all within the building.
All inside the building. So we don't have to worry about police officers watching things?
Yeah. And the Ray Gibson.
It's another one of those ka-chings, right? Can you another cost here?
Yes. So yes. So it's all within the building. I will look into whether the Guam police officers will be called or not.
Yeah, it might be for the I don't know, another layer of confidence for people that are watching where we are in the process. I mean, it'd be interesting. Just one less thing for people to worry about is if we knew that there was a reliable chain of custody of the ballots going from their storage facility directly up to the counting room into the machines, and not having to worry about anybody that might have tampered with them on part of that transit, if you know what I mean.
Sure, Ray.
The taxpayers are already on the line for this. What's a couple extra dollars for a couple of badges, right?
Sure, Ray Gibson. But they've been locked, and where they're locked, there's cameras inside the room and directly outside.
All right, and last thing for you, because I know how busy you are, is how are we doing on vetting the provisional ballots as well as the incoming receipt of off-island ballots, absentee ballots?
Gosh, I know they're coming in. Yesterday, we received 4 off-island ballots, and with provisional ballots, all provisional voters that needed to be contacted have been contacted, and they have until September 7th to cure.
Okay, so that's what is it? Next Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Now, and so that's when we ought to have the final number of provisional ballots and absentee ballots, right?
No. Provisional voters have until September 7th to complete their registration or provide whatever documentation or information that is needed in order for their votes to count. September 10th will be the day that we count provisional ballots and the rest of the off-island ballots.
Okay, so and by then we will have the clarity from the recount. You'll have the provisional ballots that will have all been accounted for, and all the absentee ballots, and so then the Election Commission should be able to certify a winner in the Democratic gubernatorial campaign.
We will be able to certify the winners of the 2018 primary election and the special election, tentatively now scheduled for the night of September 10th.
All right, and we will be looking very much forward to that because I've still got questions about whether B.J. Cruz really, really beat Doreen Crisostomo and Yuka Hechinova.
Ray Gibson, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Maria.
Ray Gibson, may I push a plug for the general election already?
Oh, of course. Of course, this has to work for both of us, not just me.
Okay, so volunteer registrars have picked up their packets. Voter registration is going on with volunteer registrars and at the Guam Election Commission office. And we are working to staff the mayor's offices with registrars. So if people are still not registered, please do so now. Also, please be aware that transferring from one village to another, if you're already registered, is not allowed between the primary and the general.
That is interesting. Okay, because so you see, it's not if you lived in Barrigada before and you're going to be moving over to Mongmong, you have to continue to vote in Barrigada if that's where you did the primary.
Until after the general.
Then you can move it at your heart's content. Okay, there's another story by John O'Connor in the Daily Post about how the election was chaos and apparently some issues with some precinct officials, not enough precinct officials to choose from who were experienced. So that's why we want to start getting people. If you got the experience, go see Maria. It's worth $350 that I'm aware of for the general election, right?
Yes, and the general election should be two ballot sheets easier. So if all the, so we will have where we had 90,000 ballots to count. Right now we have 54,000 voters. So if 54,000 voters all show up, we will only have 54,000 ballots to count.
Gotcha. So it should go faster, and then we don't have to worry so much about spoilage unless we've got overvote situations. But it's not like crossing over is going to be a big deal for the general election.
That's correct.
I know it is. Maria Pangolin, and I'm going to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
Thank you, Ray Gibson.
I'll see ya. A busy lady these days over at the Guam Election Commission, and I haven't done the count backwards yet. But the election is going to be taking place the 6th of November, I believe, which is a Tuesday. Last time I looked, it was 71 days from now, but that was like Monday. So I think we're a little bit closer to that, which is what you're going to start seeing a whole lot of ramping up of a bunch of other election issues, and one of them was. It's funny. Hold on a second. I should probably put this program in some kind of semblance of order. Yesterday, one of the other great pieces of news that was coming out was that the sky is not falling. Who said that? Current Speaker of the 34th Guam Legislature, B.J. Cruz. In a note that he sent out to all of the media, I want to thank Congresswoman Berdalio for confirming our Section 30 estimate for fiscal year 2019. I hope Governor Calvo can now rest easy. The sky isn't falling, the budget is balanced, and we can all get back to work. Which is the shortest, least dramatic statement that we have seen from Speaker B.J. Cruz in the entire 34th Guam Legislature. His drama club must have skipped yesterday. But
what does he mean by getting back to work? Because they're not doing anything until Wednesday.
I noticed that. The legislative calendar is empty for today, is it not?
It was yesterday, too.
Get back. Well, maybe he's talking about the people over at the governor's office. Maybe they're the ones. Or maybe, like I said, his own drama department. I could tell he penned this on his own.
This is just my attempt to stump for a part-time legislature.
Stump away, why don't you? 6:57 in the morning now. The governor's office. I'm not sure if they're aware. There was already a primary election. We don't have to come out with press releases that hammer Mike Sinicolas, Regine Lee, and everybody else over at the legislature. The governor's office handled the news of the Section 30, the higher amount of Section 30 reimbursement this way. In response to a request sent last month to the Office of Insular Affairs for a reimbursement of Section 30 payments, the governor's office received word that Guam's reimbursement will be $77 million, and there was dancing long into the night with that news. Quote, this means that we'll be able to pay out more tax refunds and address other obligations, Governor Calvo stated. Of course, he went on, if Speaker B.J. Cruz, Senator Mike Sinicolas, and Senator Regine Bisco-Lee had not fought the governor's plan to pay tax refunds faster through a banking arrangement called a TRAN, people wouldn't have had to wait this long for refunds. The primary is over. B.J. Cruz won hands down in the race for public accountability. And Mike Sinicolas beat Madeline Berdalio. And Regine Lee, where'd she come out at in the list here? Number 4 vote getter. Right over. Stop hammering them in your press releases. Whatever you're trying to do, guys, it ain't working. The voters disagreed with you handily here, and I think they've sent out the message that every time you talk about BJ or Mike Sinicolas or Regine Bisco-Lee, people want to go and vote for them. I don't know that there is much that the governor's office is going to be able to do by way of hammering these guys between now and the general election. But for the sake of talk radio, may I say, keep trying. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. The radio station that you're listening to is KUSG-FM. This is The Point, 93.3, and we're headquarters for Fox News. I've got that coming up here in just a couple of seconds. And on the other side of that, the amazing and incredible Kevin Kerrigan will have a look at all of today's big headlines from the Guam Daily Post. Almost as good as picking up the newspaper and buying it yourself, but we want you to pick up the newspaper and buy it yourself. It's always worth reading. Where are we now? 7 o'clock and Fox News next.
His final trip to Washington. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Senator John McCain's casket due to arrive a few hours from now in the nation's capital, where he'll lie in state tomorrow in the Capitol Rotunda after today's final farewell from Arizona. A memorial in Phoenix with both tears and humor.
He ran for president. I run out of bounds.
Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald says McCain celebrated diversity. Former Vice President and close friend Joe Biden knew him for 40 years.
I always thought of John as a brother. We had a hell of a lot of family fights.
He says values, not politics, were important to McCain and that he believed in the American people. President Trump says federal agencies can't afford the pay raises planned for many federal workers. Fox's Jared Halpern, live on Capitol Hill.
Well, President Trump has told Congress he is canceling scheduled pay raises for most civilian federal workers that were due in January. In addition to eliminating the 2.1% across-the-board raises, the president is also reducing locality pay increases. President Trump cites a significant cost, writing federal agency budgets cannot sustain such increases. Democrats are criticizing the move, calling it a slap in the face to American workers. Congress is considering smaller pay increases for federal workers as part of a spending bill that would be required to keep the government open. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. There's late word that Colin Kaepernick's grievance against the NFL is heading to an arbitrator. The former quarterback claims collusion against him over the national anthem protests. An NFL request for a summary judgment has just been denied. Kaepernick remains an unsigned free agent. He opted out of his contract with the 49ers in 2017 after becoming the first to take a knee during the anthem in the previous season. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Are you paying too much for power? Do you want to reduce your energy costs and save some money? Then call Micronesia Renewable Energy and get a solar energy system installed on your roof. Whether it's ownership or a zero money down program, there's never been a better time to go solar. Sign up in August and MRE will pay 1 month of your power bill so you can save even more money. Not a homeowner? No problem. Refer homeowners to MRE and get paid $400 cash. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
The governing body for college sports finds no violations at Michigan State University over its handling of complaints against Larry Nassar, the former sports doctor who's now in prison for sexually abusing patients.
Michigan State University says it received a letter this week from the NCAA that cleared the school of any rules violations in the Nassar scandal, for which officials say they've fully cooperated, though that despite former gymnasts accusing school leaders of looking the other way for decades, despite the resignations of MSU's former president and sports director, a settlement with hundreds of victims totaling $500 million, and now charges that a former MSU gymnastics coach lied to police about being told of abuse dating back to the 1990s. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
A defense attorney for ex-coach Kathy Klages denies the allegations and suggests politics were involved in the charges against her. An attorney for French actor Gerard Depardieu says he absolutely denies the claims being made against him. He's facing rape and sexual assault allegations in France, where a news channel, BFM, is reporting that an investigation was launched after a woman told police she was raped by Depardieu on 2 separate occasions earlier this month. Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister heading into another round of trade talks in D.C. after a conference call with the leaders of Canada's provinces.
The fact that we've been able to have, through a real Team Canada approach, has been really, really important for our country.
The talks come after the new bilateral deal between the U.S. and Mexico, threatening to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement. Renewed anxiety on Wall Street about the trade dispute with China. The Dow drops 137 today. The S&P and the NASDAQ ending a record streak. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Apply today for First Hawaiian Bank's United Mileage Plus credit card. And upon approval, you will be entered to win 2 round-trip business class tickets on United. You'll also earn up to 30,000 bonus miles, 5,000 upon opening your new account, and 25,000 after spending $1,500 within 3 months. And you'll get 2 times the mileage on United ticket purchases. Apply by August 31, 2018. Stop by any branch or visit us online at FHB.com. Terms and conditions apply. Sweepstakes starts on July 1, 2018 and ends on August 31, 2018. Open to legal residents of Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands aged 18 years or older. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Visit www.fhb.com/United Sweepstakes for official rules and complete details. Member FDIC.
You've been waiting, and now it's here. Furniture Kathy Style's grand opening after 12 months of putting together an exciting, delicious, salivating, full-scale, real furniture store that has absolutely everything you need for a beautiful home. Beautiful textures, up-to-date styles, and prices that will blow your mind during our grand opening. Starting now, Furniture Kathy Style throughout the store. Bargains, bargains, bargains. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Furniture Kathy Style in Hagåtña. Open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
Are you paying too much for power? Do you want to reduce your energy costs and save some money? Then call Micronesia Renewable Energy and get a solar energy system installed on your roof. Whether it's ownership or a zero money down program, there's never been a better time to go solar. Sign up in August and MRE will pay 1 month of your power bill so you can save even more money. Not a homeowner? No problem. Refer homeowners to MRE and get paid $400 cash. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
Alpha Day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 7 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. Last night, the Guam Election Commission deciding to recount the ballots cast for the top 2 finishers in the Democratic gubernatorial race during last Saturday's primary election. Gubernatorial team of Senator Frank Uggan Jr. and Alicia Limtiaco asked for the recount on Monday. It'll take place tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 at the Guam Election Commission offices in the GCIC building in Hagåtña. The Uggan-Limtiaco team finished second to the team of Lou Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio by a slim 260-vote margin. In reaction to the decision, the presumptive winners, Lou and Josh, issued a statement last night saying that they respect and support the Guam Election Commission's decision to conduct a recount. Candidate and Senator Frank Uggan Jr., meanwhile, said he was pleased with the decision for a recount, but they had requested a hand recount. And GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan on The Point this morning telling host Ray Gibson that the decision was to conduct a machine recount. Guam law requires an automatic recount if the difference in votes is 2% or less, but there was some dispute over how to calculate that percentage, and election law is silent on what formula to use. Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio issuing a statement yesterday asking for a speedy resolution to the investigation of the gun-grabbing incident at the barbecue block party in Tumon last month, during which he approached a uniformed Guam police officer from behind and lifted the officer's handgun out of its holster. The lieutenant governor previously said he meant to teach the officer a lesson after thinking the gun was loose in its holster, but later apologized. The incident happened on July 7th. Police officers later submitted their versions of what happened, and the AG's office has confirmed an investigation is underway. The AG's office has declined to comment on the latest statement from Tenorio, as was the office's stance following the previous media inquiries. We'll have more news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they'll continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,500 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 475-4545, Upper Tuon 647-5626, or in Dedito 633-4473. Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959.
Don't wait another day and waste another dollar. You can start saving today. At Guahan Insurance Services, we are here to help protect your investment and save you money. We offer insurance advising for business, car, and home insurance. So come and visit us at our new office at Camacho Landmark Center at Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning, and let us show you that you can count on us for all your insurance needs. Call 475-1162.
News time here at The Point is 11 minutes past 7 a.m. Beginning on November 1st, United Airlines will run 2 additional flights a week between Guam and Hong Kong, adding 10,000 new seats through March of 2019. The airline announcing yesterday the 50% increase in seat capacity was designed to meet the growing demand between Guam and Hong Kong during the 2018-2019 peak winter travel season. United customers will have the choice of 6 weekly flights with the addition of 2 evening flights on Tuesdays and Thursdays. A proposed resolution will ask the U.S. Census Bureau and Department of Interior to include an earned income tax credit question when counting migrants from the Micronesian islands who entered Guam under the Compacts of Free Association. Legislative Resolution 493 was drafted by Senator Michael San Nicolas. The Compacts of Free Association Amendments Act of 2003 mandates a census of the regional migrants every 5 years, and the latest is set to take place this year. The count will form the basis for the allocation of compact impact funds for Guam. Currently, there is no question on the census survey to ask if the respondent's family is an EITC recipient, said San Nicolas. San Nicolas says he met with Lorraine West, chief of the Population Division of the U.S. Census Bureau, to talk about the survey. In that meeting, the senator pointed out that the EITC, which converts into tax refunds, takes a financial toll on Guam taxpayers, and it should be included in compact impact reimbursements. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Here's Ray with weather.
There's potential for wet this weekend. Mostly cloudy skies and breezy today with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies and isolated showers from Sunday. Through the weekend, southwest winds up to about 20 miles an hour, decreasing to 10 to 15 miles an hour tonight. Daytime highs hovering around 88, 89 degrees and overnight lows cooler 78 degrees. Sunset tonight at 6:33, and we'll see sunrise tomorrow morning at about 6:09. 7:12 or so, and that's news and weather together here on The Point.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. Half a day. I'm Rita Tidegli of Manila, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voices of our community and sharing thoughts about issues that affect all of us. It all boils down to our people and our land. Ingatan ang iyong tahanan. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
And you can call Ray at 888-8255. In the meantime, I need you to start thinking about lunch today. Beef tinaktak. Let me just put that thought in your head. Let me just like germinate the idea, and you can claim it as yours later on the day when everybody says, "Hey, what are we having for lunch?" You go, "Beef tinaktak. We're going to King's," because that's what the big lunch special is today. It's how they mark Friday, and wow, we think you ought to mark Friday too. They got a pick 2 or pick 3 combo as well. It's lunchtime at King's.
If you can dream uncommon design and unprecedented engineering, you define the 2018 Lexus. The boldly designed IS Sport Sedan's aggressive design stimulates the senses.
Advanced paddle shifting puts the exhilarating performance of the IS Sport Sedan at your fingertips. With deep, luxurious seating, the ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive.
Put yourself in a 2018 Lexus.
Now with special incentives.
At Atkins Kroll.
You know, there's times I think I'm the funny guy around here, but every once in a while I'll look at somebody's post on Facebook Live and go, okay, that's it, that's up, hands down. Debbie Canetta writing this morning, will someone please arrest Ray? He's tired of waiting. I don't think that's the resolution that he was looking for from the Attorney General's office. 7:14, portions of the program brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, where it all starts with yes.
If you are looking to rent trucks, forklifts, or construction equipment, including Kohler generators, then contact Morico Equipment on Epau Road, 649-1946, or click moricoequipment.com. Box trucks, reefer trucks, freezer trucks, flatbed trucks, tractor trucks, water trucks, forklifts, excavators, backhoes, loaders, skid steers, bulldozers, compact rollers, telehandlers, boom lifts, scissor lifts, diesel generators, air compressors, light towers, moricoequipment.com.
And that's why people start their morning here on this radio station. Portions of the program also brought to you by Guam Regional Medical City, your first choice for all of your open heart surgery needs. American WaterTech, Smarter Water, Better Water, Micronesia Renewable Energy, and American President Lines. They're shipping the future.
The Coconut Wireless is back. Morning talk that matters. The Ray Gibson Show.
Yeah, for clarity, Debbie says, not you, Ray, the other one. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm almost positive that's what it was. Lawmakers, Tedu says lawmakers should introduce legislation that punishes people using social media or any form of media to slander or false negative attack ads to attack candidates with serious fine and imprisonment. A lot of people are sick of it. Bottom line, these are hard times for all of the people. My first reaction is always protection of people's First Amendment rights.
Yeah, you can't do censorship, man. It just doesn't work that way. Sorry.
I get it. It's the kill, death hit pieces that were out there. I know that they have a negative impact, certainly on the candidates and their families and friends and supporters. I mean, who's to say that those 260 people between Lulian Guerrero and Frank Uggan were always for Lou? Maybe they were for Frank until they saw some of those kill, death hit pieces. But it's just the way it is. I recognize them for what they were, ran them, played them for entertainment purposes only, but I also get the idea that was somebody's attempt at using their voice. I thought it was a cowardly attempt. I think if you're going to do stuff like that, you should sign your name to it. I have to do that.
That's the thing. Yeah, don't hide behind a pretty picture if you're going to sling mud like that. People are just, and this is a thing that's kind of surfaced over the last few years. People seem to be a little bit confused about what the First Amendment means. And it simply protects you from repercussions from the government, from free speech. But you can suffer repercussions at your job or anywhere else or in the general public. That's just how it is.
Ask the guys that take a knee. It's 7:17 in the morning, and in a gaggle of pieces of video that I want to play for you, I've got a couple of things. One of them is a commentary from Senator Frank Uggan and Alicia Lim Tiaco after the hearing at the Guam Election Commission yesterday. We'll play that for you. And also, I don't want to say courtesy of KSPN up in Saipan, because they didn't give it to me. I'm just going to kind of play it and just say it came from them. Is commentary, I believe, from the Attorney General of the CNMI, talking about the vote that took place in the CNMI Senate yesterday, which clears the way, ladies and gentlemen, for CNMI to be a pretty. It was always kind of loosey-goosey when it came to enforcement of marijuana laws up in the CNMI, but I think at this point they lose all pretext of it and just say, for all intents and purposes, it's legal. Light it up, guys. Light them up. Come on. You want to. So I'll get some of that in there. Hello, Christmas, Miss Tello. What's that, May? I don't see it. And I want to say good morning to Kamaka Moylan Alston, who is joining us on the Facebook Live here. Let me quickly go through the numbers. What? Is it an important phone call? Is it the governor? Is it Eddie Calvo asking me for advice?
Not this time.
What was it?
Louis has a question about censorship and about the discussion we were having.
I don't want to talk about it.
There you go, Lou.
Portions of the program here. We got to get into this. Take a look at what happened on the market. Basically, the American markets are all in the red here today. Trump is going to be going after China again for like $200 billion worth of more tariffs, and it's freaking everybody out. S&P 500 in the red by 12, 2,901. NASDAQ at 8,088. which interestingly enough is 16,179 divided by 2. Why is that number in my head? Because it was some of the mathematics that I've been doing to sort out whether or not we were inside of the 2% or not. What do we got? Dow Jones Industrial Average off by 137 points, 25,986. I was earlier this week excited because they were at 26,000, and it looks like we have to start all over again. Sorry, it's 16,176, and I believe if you divide that by 2, it comes out to 8,088, which is where the NASDAQ is right now. Forgot to look at the Tapas numbers. West Texas crude trading at, oh my God, $70.05 for a gallon, for a barrel of West Texas crude. That's no good. That will conspire, ladies and gentlemen, with the Labor Day traffic that is going to take place across the United States of America, and what we're going to have to start putting up with here. I'm just going to say we're going to have to start hearing from our friends and family on Facebook about how expensive gas is in the States, and they're gonna be posting up pictures. Oh, look, gas is almost $3 a gallon. What's going on? Woe is us. The world's going to end. The sky is falling. And when you see that here on Guam, you know what? Unfollow them. Unfriend them, right? We don't need that crap here. We're paying $4.43 a gallon for gasoline, and they're going to complain because, oh, we're out of the summer blend of gas. It's getting more expensive, $70 for a barrel of West Texas crude. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. 7:20 in the morning. And this is currently the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3. The point, 888-8255. That's 888-8255. No, what do Louis want to know about censorship? He wanted me to talk about it some more? He wanted to talk. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? A little bit later on, we'll talk. Is he on now? That's him? Hey, Louis, how you doing?
Yeah, Ray.
What, now, you want to talk a little bit about free speech and censorship as it applies to the Kill, Kill, Death hit pieces that were out a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, as you were bringing the issue up a few minutes ago, a thought occurred to me, and I honestly don't have an opinion on this one way or another. As the, head guy at a radio station, how would you feel about a possible policy that says we'll post ads providing that the person who wants them aired has to provide identification as to who they are, and we're going to connect the name of the person posting the ad with whatever the ad says?
That's already law.
Oh, interesting. So then does that mean that whenever somebody's posting a supposedly negative piece about a candidate, whoever the candidate might be, that their name is announced on the air?
Yeah, that's why you have these ads, and technically, I think they're being used inaccurately here. When you hear a politician say, "Hi, this is Ray Gibson, and I approve this ad," there's two things that are happening there. One of them is they are identifying that they are the source of the advertisement, or that they approve of the committee to elect's verbiage in the ad. But generally, you would only use that if you were attacking somebody, right? If it was a Lulian Guerrero piece and she was attacking Frank Uggan, it would be nice if Lulian Guerrero was in the ad herself saying, "I approve this ad," and that works for commercial clients as well. I have turned copy around. I've turned it back to clients because it didn't identify them. And I believe that is vital. It's crucial that advertisements of all kinds, political or otherwise, have some kind of statement that makes it obvious where that ad is coming from. It's not a question of censorship, really. It's
right.
just,
I would agree.
You just need to know who's behind all of this stuff. Now that applies to me, and that applies to the guys over in the television business. It doesn't apply to YouTube. Doesn't apply to Facebook. Doesn't apply to social media.
Got it.
Yep, and so that's the way that works, at least in my mind. Hey, cousin, it's always nice talking with you. We'll get together again soon.
Very good. We'll do that.
Have an outstanding morning. It's 7:23 and time for Jerry Roberts to bring you the Extra Point.
One of the major topics among folks who observe the workplace is the issue of millennials, those workers born between 1981 and 1996, now aged 22 to 37. A lot of these people are now among the ranks of managers. I'm Jerry Roberts, and let's talk about some ways to help the millennial manager today on the Extra Point. Okay, millennial managers. How can we help them to do better in their supervisory role? 10 ways. Number 1, show them the big picture. All millennials like to see how all the pieces fit together, as well as where the organization is heading. This is the generation that, more than any other, gets value out of being a part of something larger than themselves. Tell them why what you're doing matters. Number 2, make sure they clearly understand how their job impacts the bottom line. This takes that big picture and narrows it down. This is personal, how they impact the bottom line. 3, tell them your company's story. How did you get started? Talk about the organization's humble beginnings, the achievements through the years, your expansions, etc. This adds value. 4, show how your organization benefits the community. If you've been active in civic projects over the years, highlight that and offer them the opportunity to be part of those efforts in the future. I think it's important to actually make this offer, as some people are not aggressive, especially early in their career. Number 5, talk to them about work-life balance. Millennials generally don't want the lives their parents or grandparents have had. They value time off more than previous generations. Talk openly that you support this, though there may be times that projects and deadlines could bump up against that balance. Discuss your expectations and encourage their feedback. Most millennials are okay with putting in extra time to complete work, as long as the whole concept doesn't seem like it's being shoved down their throat. Number 6, introduce them to everyone their work will impact and vice versa, as quickly as possible. This starts to build their organizational networking. 7, clearly explain that meeting all requirements of a job description is only part of the job of a manager. This may be a surprise for someone who has never been in a supervisory role. Now, I promised you 10, but we're running long and I don't want to overstay my welcome. For numbers 8 through 10, go to GuamTraining.com, look for XP on the menu bar, and download transcript number 145. 145. The last 3 just might be the most important of all. That's the extra point. Get out there and make something good happen today. For 93.3 and The Ray Gibson Show, I'm Jerry Roberts.
What is that? What is it clickbait we're doing here? You've got to show up. The last one here will save your life.
Yeah. You know, there's only one true way to treat millennials.
Get up, it's Jesus Day.
I got to find. I don't know. There's one of my favorite memes. I'll get my hands on it here in just a second. Listen, and most of it, 90% of it is just showing up for the job, right? Just be there when the work starts, and always try to be there when the boss gets in. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. 7:27 in the morning, and as my understanding is. That has not been posted yet. Give Jerry about 10 minutes, and that life-changing, corner-turning information will be available for you to download from GuamTraining.com. At 7:27, I'll be right back.
Stay clean and connected with Docomo Pacific and mobile. For a limited time, stop by any participating mobile store and get a free chamois when you purchase $10 worth of Docomo Pacific prepaid load. Keep your car looking spotless when you go prepaid. With the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. You plus Docomo Pacific, better together. Offer valid while supplies last. Some conditions apply.
We're starting to traffic up around the Ukadu area on Route 3. There's a school back there, as you might know, and it begins to snag traffic around this time. But we're also seeing traffic begin to build up Marine Corps Drive up in Jigo, on into Dededo in the Waisang Song area. Then it looks pretty clear until you get around that intersection of 1 and 3. But even there, it's fine. And in fact, it looks pretty good as you make your way down to this area, the JFK Mart intersection area. It looks like it's building up a little bit down in Tumon. 8, 10, and 16. We got a little bit of buildup as you're making your way towards that intersection from Route 8 and from Route 10, and also beginning to see a little bit of traffic congestion starting to build at the intersection of 10 and Route 15 because the traffic light at that intersection sucks. It's awful. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then as you make your way down through PD and into Sumai, you might see a little bit of traffic starting to build in front of the entrance to Big Navy down there. Nothing in front of Navy Hospital and nothing in front of Anderson Air Force Base to report at this time, as the flight attendants say. It's 7:28 in the morning. That's right now. Traffic on the point.
Sizzling hot, that's what our special summer loan is, with rates as low as 4% and amounts up to $50,000. You can use your money for whatever you want, like back to school expenses, tuition, travel, or paying down expensive credit cards. A sizzling hot special summer loan with great rates as low as 4% at Bank Pacific today.
Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Eco Credit Opportunity Lender. Conditions apply. As low as 4% APR.
Well, I'm supposed to talk now, right? Wondering which of these I can play, I should play. Because you got me thinking now. Jerry Roberts got that thing, right? And the last of the pieces of advice on dealing with millennials and how that's going to be a life changer. And just for grins, I Googled the words that will change your life. And you get all kinds of stuff in there. 3 words that will change your life. Dr. Mark Holder, it's one of those TED Talks, 20 words that can change your life. 3 words that will change your life. Another one of these TED Talks. And maybe just for grins. You know,
those
we'll
3
get
words wouldn't be change your life, would they?
I don't know.
Just saying.
Courage is always rewarded. Yeah, that's more than 3 words, isn't it? It's 7:30 in the morning, and we got to take care of some headlines now from the Guam Daily Post. Here's Kevin Kerrigan.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. And the headlines from the Guam Daily Post this morning: a former land surveyor pled guilty yesterday in a land scam case connected to fraudulent land registration issues dating back to the late 1980s. Tommy Anderson admitted to a misdemeanor charge of unsworn falsification and agreed to assist prosecutors in determining if any others involved in the previous land registration cases are criminally liable. In the mid-1990s, Anderson was convicted of 3 counts of attempted theft as a second-degree felony in a scheme that involved the preparation of false deeds and survey maps of what started out being small private parcels of land and ended up encroaching onto larger areas of public property. A statement from the Guam Attorney General's office yesterday noting that Elizabeth Barrett Anderson, during her first term as Attorney General back in the early 90s, led the investigation that convicted Anderson and others in that scheme. The statement credits the work of Assistant AGs Nick Toff and James Collins in collaboration with the Department of Land Management and Rev and Tax, who uncovered this old case and prevented this piece of public property from illegally falling into private hands. Guam police officers arrested 33-year-old Rosanna Fernandez Wednesday evening after a traffic stop along Route 12 in Agate after they determined she was driving without a driver's license and an invalid license plate. According to the magistrate's report, the woman tried to conceal drugs she had in her possession. When officers took Fernandez into a police interview room in the Agate station, one of the officers reported seeing Fernandez through the window of the door, kneeling forward while extending her left arm underneath the table and trying to hide an improvised glass pipe. The pipe was later recovered, found to have crystal meth residue inside. When confronted, Fernandez began yelling obscenities at the officer, according to the complaint, and claimed she'd been set up with the drugs planted. Fernandez was charged with felony drug possession, driving a vehicle without identification as a misdemeanor. Supreme Court of Guam ordering a new trial for Adam James Messier after finding that the prosecution made numerous statements in violation of the defendant's Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Messier was convicted of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child abuse. He was sentenced to 5 years, but Messier appealed the conviction, citing the questioning by the prosecutor of the victim and her sister's motives to lie, which the justices concluded violated Messier's rights because they implied an inference of guilt. The case has been remanded to the trial court for a new trial, and the conviction has been vacated. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
Gotcha. I love that story about the Fernandez girl. You blankers set me up. You guys planted that blank. Yeah. She's hollering at policemen. What is this hollering at? You don't holler at the cops, for heaven's sakes. Just, just a bunch of guys doing their job, trying to keep the island safe.
Yeah, just like you don't kick them in the junk when they're trying to arrest you.
Never kick them in the junk. I still have that video playing around here. All right, am I supposed to do iConnect time, right? iConnect time in the studio is 7:34, and tell you, they absolutely love working with you, and they're awesome at being practical. That's their whole thing over at iConnect. Don't think you ought to spend any more money than you need to for your wireless and for your mobile and for your push-to-talk plan. So give them a call today at iConnect, 888-8888, and find out why they are the practical choice. Okay, play the next thing.
My wife and I are really enjoying retirement. We hope to travel more to see our grandkids. But in the meantime, we're being smarter with our money. We switched our internet plan to iConnect and pay only $45 a month for unlimited service. Now we can video chat with the grandkids whenever we want. And our connection is great in Assen. Let's be practical. Why pay more when we can pay less with iConnect? Visit them at the Micronesia Mall, at Gagnon Shopping Center, or the main office in Upper Tumon. iConnect is the practical choice.
It's time for the Wendy's break. Wendy's 4 for $4, giving customers like you great value every day. For just $4, you can now have 8 options to choose from. Favorites like the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, the Crispy Chicken BLT, or the Double Stack Sandwich all come complete with nuggets and fries and a drink. It's an entire meal. 4 for $4. What a deal for a Wendy's meal.
At Guam Regional Medical City, it is our mission to become the island's premier choice for specialty care, like cardiology, pulmonology, neurosciences, orthopedics, oncology services, and more. We aim to protect our island from heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and diabetic complications. But should you suffer from such diseases, we're ready with world-class options, both inpatient and outpatient. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
A little bit more traffic slowing things down on Route 3, but it's moved from the high school area a little bit closer to the intersection. That's going to continue throughout the morning. It doesn't look like it has changed all that much between Marine Corps Drive through Dededo and Gigo into the Upper Tumon area, 8, 10, and 16. Looking just like it did a second ago. And traffic now kind of building in the opposite direction at the intersection of 10 and 15. Originally, it was people that were trying to turn into it off of Route 10, and now it looks like it's folks that are coming in more from the Payless side that's starting to build up. A little bit of traffic in East Agano that you might see, but still nothing in front of any of the major bases. 7:36, that's right now. Traffic on the point.
Hey, what's that? Oh, it's a Subway Big Hot Pastrami.
My Big Hot Pastrami?
No, back up. My Subway Big Hot Pastrami. Get your own.
Get your own Subway Big Hot Pastrami. Tender, juicy beef on freshly baked bread. Enjoy yours with mustard and pickles. Get a Big Hot Pastrami at your favorite Subway location. It's so good you won't want to share. For a limited time only. Subway. Make it what you want.
Friday morning version of the Ray Gibson Show. Hope you're enjoying it. And if you are and you're on Facebook Live this morning, there's a little arrow that points to the right. Do me a favor, click on that. That's a share deal, and that will allow you to share your comments and just the sheer excitement of being part of this broadcast community with friends and family all around the world. But please don't share it with anybody that's going to come in and say that gasoline is so expensive in the States. It's $2.98 a gallon here in the States, and it's killing me. I don't know. I can't buy my latte anymore because gasoline's so expensive. Don't share it with them. Just share it with like cool people. You know what I mean? Anyway, 7:37 in the morning, and earlier this week had the pleasure of entertaining my buddy Charlie and his friends from American President Lines, the other president, Edward Aldridge. And my understanding is that is still in town for a little bit longer, but wanted a couple of minutes on the air, and that's all right. Hey, Charlie, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Ray. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. I'm glad that we got an opportunity to talk again real quick because there were a couple of people that heard us talking about how American President Lines is doing shipping between Guam and Japan. And at least one person on Facebook Live was asking about Guam and Osaka, which is a city in Japan, as you know. Where are the points? Where do you spoke to in Japan, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I mean, right now we can pretty much do anywhere throughout Japan. So we can if you got the point of contact, we'll definitely reach out to that person and try to get the information.
Well, let's have them reach out to you. What's an easy way to get a hold of the guys over at American President Lines?
I can give you. They can reach me directly to my cell phone, 5809.
Got it. And if you forget that number, find me. Charlie and I are in 24 hours a day communications. In case they need me for some kind of management and shipping advice, Charlie can reach out to me at any time.
I appreciate it, Ray. And Ray, and as I said, I had Ed here as well, and Eric, and they absolutely had a great time this week. They wanted to have some parting words with you and thank you and everything.
Oh, not a problem. Put them on.
Okay, half a day, Ray.
Half a day. Which one is this? Is this Ed?
This is Ed.
No, it's great to have you in the studio, and let's make it a thing. Whenever you come to Guam, you can come by the radio station. We'll just hang out. We'll talk about shipping stuff, and you can bring me cool American President line swag, because I can't. Don't tell Charlie, but I can't find my hat.
Well, we just wanted to check back in with you before we leave town tomorrow, and I just wanted to let you know, and all of our great customers out there, that we had a very productive week here in Guam. I'd personally like to send a very warm thank you, really, to all of our great customers here that continue to support APL. It was great to see many of you this week, and really to get the opportunity to spend some quality time together. We really appreciate it. I also want to thank, for just a moment, our great vendors for helping us, serve our great customers here. There is no doubt, and I think you heard it from Eric, myself, and Charlie, that APL is here to stay in Guam, and we certainly welcome the opportunity to continue to serve the businesses and the people here in Guam. We're in the process of strengthening our organization under the great leadership of Charlie and his team here, and just once again on behalf of APL, I want to thank all of our customers. Ray, it was a pleasure to meet you. And we look forward to catching up on our next visit to Guam.
Anytime, guys. Now you know where the radio station is. It's always fun to hang out and talk to people in a variety of industries. And as I said, I learn something every time I sit down with Charlie. And I'm sure that every time you and I get a chance to sit down, I'm going to learn even more about the shipping business and just life in general. Because you look like you've been around and know a couple of things that I don't.
Well, I've been in the business a few years. But I love it. It's in my blood, and we're going to continue on for a few more years.
All right. Well, my best to Eric, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next trip.
All right. Thank you very much, Ray.
Not a problem, guys. Not a problem. 741-888-8255 is the phone number. It's not the only other corporate communications we're going to be enjoying here in just a couple of minutes. Sam Shinahara from United is going to be calling in, and they've got a couple of big things that he wants to talk about, one of which is something that's in the actual news. They're going to be adding all kinds of seat opportunities between here and Hong Kong. Guam getting on the radar, I guess, with a lot of Chinese in Hong Kong that might want to come here when it gets to be very cold there.
That's great. Sign me up. I'll make the trip.
Well, I was going to say, because because if the airplanes are coming this way, they've got to go back, right?
Exactly.
And there's all kinds of fun to do in Hong Kong, is there not?
For sure.
You've had the opportunity to knock around in the Hong Kong area. Do you have a favorite?
I was there for the handover back in '97. Covered that live from the tennis stadium. Pouring rain.
I think I've heard the story.
Yeah.
What a thing, though.
Yeah.
I remember it was
best fireworks show I ever saw in the rain.
It was tectonic, though. I mean, the political change that had taken place there, and just the nature of what it's like now. I was there just in May and had the absolute time of my life. Hey, well, we'll talk about that. Is that Sam on the line now? Got it. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Hey, half a day, Ray. Good morning.
It's always nice talking with you, and thanks very much for the heads up on what is it, 10,000 seats now between now and March aboard United with Hong Kong.
Hey, you bet, Ray. We kind of did. We had our own recount at United Airlines ourselves. We recounted seats between Guam and Hong Kong, and we've been working really hard to make sure that that's a good, successful market. And we saw some, capacity needs for the winter season, and you know better than most other people, Ray. We, Guam is home for us, and we have a home of airplanes that sit here on the ground, and they don't do much for us when they're sitting on the ground. So decided to add, increase our capacity by 50% into that market.
Well, I'm delighted to hear that. I didn't realize that there was demand sufficient for the additional lift between here and Hong Kong. What kind of research did you guys conduct to determine that there were so many Chinese that wanted to come out here?
So hey, a couple of things, Ray. You know, we feel like number one, and it's not every day, but certainly during the winter season, we do a little bit better than the other times of the year, for sure. But on top of that, adding the extra 2 days a week gives us an opportunity to offer a better travel pattern and more travel patterns for the customer base that's over there. And, you know, with our connectivity into Saipan and different opportunities, you know, given our structure here on Guam, we have the ability to flow these customers, not just for trips to Guam, and make no mistake, we're capturing a lot of that business, but a lot of what we move between Guam and Hong Kong are connecting passengers beyond Guam into, believe it or not, into the U.S. mainland. We connect customers because of our hub position here on Guam. We connect passengers off of Hong Kong into Honolulu. Believe it or not, stopping in Guam is the fastest way to get to Honolulu from Hong Kong.
I didn't know that. But wait a second. So if I wanted to get to Honolulu, I've got a couple of different options now, including a stop in Hong Kong.
Absolutely.
So Guam, Hong Kong, and then Guam, Hong Kong, Honolulu.
Actually, the reverse.
I see.
We connect Chinese people in Hong Kong into Honolulu.
I got you. Kazendo saying Hong Kong is a great place to go. I loved it, and every time I go to Hong Kong, I learn something new to love about that place. It's a fantastic destination, obviously. But I'm delighted to hear that there are so many Chinese that are looking at opportunities to get to the United States, either via Guam or using Guam as the destination between here and there. Will there be any specials coming up for Guam travelers that want to get to Hong Kong in the next couple of months once this thing gets started?
Ray, every day is special here at United Airlines. Hey, I know you're trying to get me in trouble by talking about pricing and stuff like that, but, hey, we are working on some fantastic offers for the market for sure.
All right, I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about that. You'd mentioned Saipan, and originally it was just one flight a day, and then accommodations made now, I guess it's Tuesday, Thursdays, where United has 2 flights going between Guam and Saipan. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we, in talking with the customer base and, quite frankly, our experiences on board, we just knew there was additional need in that market. So now we have the ability to connect people on our Honolulu flights back and forth. We continue to look at the market, Ray, where there's opportunity for us to increase service or change day of week patterns. We're still trying to figure out what makes the, most sense for the traveling population between Guam and Saipan.
Well, and the reason I ask is there's a couple of debates that are going to be taking place, forums that are going to be taking place. They're in the midst of a big political season up there, and they wanted to bring in somebody that they could guarantee was neutral to moderate these events. And so they've asked me, but I'm looking at it. I'm having a hard time balancing my schedule here and the flight schedule. So the question is United looking at other opportunities to have more than just a Tuesday, Thursday, 2 flights up? Is there something that you guys might be able to do with, I don't know, weekends or adding additional flights between here and Saipan?
Yeah, Ray, we look at these things all the time. There is a big ask for, kind of more opportunities for day trip traffic, and so looking at evening opportunities. And so, we're constantly looking at the market. No firm plans right now, but I can tell you with certainty that Saipan is something that we continue to look and evaluate to make sure that we're doing the best thing for the customers over there.
All right, I got my fingers crossed that we'll be able to add to it because I really want to do these forums. What about Japan? And I know that that's another one of these places, and you've increased flights and traffic between here and Japan. Will there be more of that? Are you seeing additional demand for Guam coming out of Japan these days?
Yeah, well, we expect a really strong winter season, which is exactly why we're bringing the 777s back into the market. And we do have the ability to flex up and down when that makes sense based on market demands. But, Japan's really... it's a finicky market, right? And we're working really hard with everybody to make sure that continues to be our core market. Certainly the Japan visitor has been really, really great to Guam, and, it's something that we rely on heavily in our business, and so we're pushing really hard. And so very encouraged by what we're seeing right now. We're adding, beyond the 777s coming back, I think I talked to you about, our extra Nagoya flights. And, we have a smattering of charters, across the winter period. But you know, a lot of good things happening in Japan and between Guam and Japan for sure.
All right, keep me posted on all of that stuff. Now, one of your the marketing experts here on the Facebook Live, James Howard, is offering a suggestion here. Those flights will increase with the recreational marijuana tourism up in Saipan. The Senate, I don't know if you've heard, has voted to approve recreational marijuana use up in Saipan, and that could be tectonic for them. That could be a game changer as well.
Yeah, well, you know, Ray, we are...
You know, we call it fly in the friendly skies, right?
There you go. Always friendly for sure. But, you know, I mean, hey, if there's demand, you know, we have the capability of meeting that demand. You know, I mean, and like I said, we're watching the market closely, looking at a lot of different things that are happening. You know, I mean, and there's so many things that are happening in this part of the world, right? And we don't talk enough about the military buildup and what that means. You know, but quite frankly, I'm not sure anybody really knows what it means from a visitor perspective, right? Because the conversation we were having 10 years ago is very different from what we're seeing right now. And so, you know, we continue to study what makes sense.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and you're right. It's an unknown country out there. There's the other reason for the phone call, in addition to finding out a little bit more about what's happening with Hong Kong, because I'm personally involved in that one because I like going to Hong Kong. I got friends. I don't have to stay in a hotel. I can just crash at a buddy's house out in the slums of Repulse Bay.
That's a special kind of slum for sure.
Yeah, it's the only slum I know. Is they got a Ferrari dealership right there in the front of it. Anyway, so but the 13th annual Airplane United Plane Pull is going to be coming up on September the 15th, and this doesn't just get put together. It's not like they say, hey, let's go pull the airplane this weekend. There's a whole process that gets involved. So I want to give you a special opportunity to remind the captains and the teams out there about some of their upcoming obligations.
Ray, thank you so much for that opportunity. So as you said, September 15th, our plane pull is coming up. As you know, we do this plane pull as a community service. So many families have been touched by cancer, and this really is our big fundraiser event to raise, funds and resources to support Guam Cancer Care and the American Cancer Society. And hopefully, we can make sure that we get fantastic participation. We see so many people standing on the side of the roads at polling sites during the political season. Hope to see those folks at our airplane hangar on September 15, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 8 o'clock in the morning as they march in their parade. It's for a fantastic cause. I don't know anyone who hasn't been touched by this disease, unfortunately.
Well, I lost my dad in May to cancer. Fast-moving, opportunistic cancer. It took him in 19 days.
Yeah, hey, it's horrible, right? But someday we're going to kick its butt for sure. And this is, United Airlines' way of giving back just a little bit. And it's a great team-building event. I can't recommend it enough to for folks. It's a good way to get, people out of the workforce or out of the workplace, have a good time, but, also build the camaraderie within the organizations that you work for. And quite frankly, it's a little friendly competition out there.
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity to kind of circle and network with other people as well.
Well, we like we like it when the gas companies go after each other. We like it when the cell phone companies go after each other, and all the different businesses that with these little grudge matches that they have for the benefit of both the American Cancer Society and Guam Cancer Care. So it's important that if nobody has approached your business about doing this, and specifically, I'm looking at thinking about my buddy over at Charlie over at APL. Let's find a way to get a team of folks together and participate. First place winner for each division gets 2 United round-trip tickets to the United States via Honolulu. Team Spirit winner gets 2 United round-trip tickets to anywhere that United flies in Asia or Micronesia. If you want information, call 635-1126. That's 635-1126. Find me, and I'll put you in touch with Steve Reuter or Breen Merfallen at RIMS, and they will tell you everything that you need to know. But I want to say that there's a deadline coming up for registration, right?
Hey Ray, it's September 15th, so it's just around the corner.
Right, but the deadline is Thursday next week.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, it's coming around the corner for sure, and so, you know, we got to wrap up and make sure that we're prepared for as many teams that come on. But, you know, if we got last-minute entries, you know, the team's going to kill me for saying this. We're certainly going to find a way to take last-minute entries. And hey, to make it real simple and easy for folks, playingpool@rimsguam.com is an email address that will be super helpful if folks are interested in signing up. And if you're not interested in signing up, I strongly suggest that you just come to the playing pool. You know, we open it with the first pool, which is our cancer survivors here on Guam. And it's an amazing thing to see. The parade of teams is an amazing thing to see, but there's nothing like seeing people who have beat this disease, you know, pull an airplane. It's an amazing thing to watch.
Was it 24 tons?
It's way too heavy for any people.
I gotcha. Hey, listen, Sam, it's always a delight getting you on the radio and talking about United and airplane stuff. Big employer in this town, and I'm delighted to report that my friend Perla is back to wearing a United uniform again.
Oh, hey, we got a bunch of people that are coming back to work, so a lot of good things happening here, Ray. You know, and I think this year is going to be a great year for United. It's going to be a great year for Guam. We're going to close the year on a really high note. That's my belief and my hope. And hopefully you know, I mean, if that holds true for United, that's going to be a great thing for Guam.
I think so too. 7:55. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your 3 days off.
Likewise, Ray.
All right, buddy.
Thanks. Take care.
Yeah, and I said enjoy your 3 days off. The guy is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And while I got a second, let me just take a quick look at the traffic. Route 8 in the Mighty and the Toto area is beginning to back up a little bit northbound as you make your way towards the intersection of 8, 10, and 16. A little bit heavier as a result. And I don't know why, but it looks like it's heavying up over at the fire station in that part of Route 8. The question I'm asking now is if they had to name the flight between here and Saipan, specifically for all the dopers that are going to want to say, because we're never going to get to the ground on medicinal marijuana here. I don't know that there is the political will or, shall I say, courage to do what they're doing up in the CNMI with recreational marijuana. We did have a bill that was floating around that would seem to try to what was the word, equalize between medicinal marijuana and recreational use of marijuana. But I don't think that has yet gone anywhere over at our legislature. But it looks like they're doing it up in Saipan, right? 6-2 vote.
That's
Is
right.
that what the guy said?
Yeah.
I believe I have. Do I want to do this one first? I should have a link now to the story from KSPN. I think we've got enough time to play the whole thing. And it was a story, news interviews Chester Hines, Assistant Attorney General and Chief Drug Prosecutor, regarding his stance on the proposed Commonwealth Marijuana Regulation Act. And let me see if I can play this now for you on the Facebook Live.
With all the talk about legalizing marijuana here in the CNMI, one local attorney shares his opinion about marijuana and the effects legalization could have right here in the CNMI. Chester Hines is the Assistant Attorney General. He says he has some strong opinions about the legalization of marijuana here in the CNMI.
Marijuana shouldn't be illegal, but you know, I am a part of the Attorney General's office and I'm the drug prosecutor, so I do recognize the fact that if someone is breaking the law, then they should be, then we have to bring them to justice.
Hines says justice for marijuana should not involve jail time or even fines.
Hopefully, with this new legislation, people who smoke marijuana or want to grow marijuana, I think won't have to be a part of the criminal justice system anymore.
Hines says he does not believe some of the common myths about marijuana use.
I mean, like, if you're asking me, do I think that people who smoke marijuana are likely to go on to harder stuff like meth, or it's like a gateway? I don't think so. And I think that there's proof of that.
And it looks like that's the story. So they're their Associate Attorney General there in the CNMI basically saying, yeah, smoke them if you got them. Don't worry.
I'll tell you that, man.
Not going to be coming after you. We'll look the other way. We'll notice the smell. We'll notice the aroma, but we'll look the other way on this. And Lady D online saying, there goes our tourism bucks. Do you think that we're missing the boat on something that they have seen and detected up in the CNMI and will be going after? I don't know. How long do you suppose we should wait before we figure all that out? 7:58, and I think I've got enough time to get this piece on the air as well. Quick conversation with Frank Uggan and Alicia Limtiaco. Looks like out of the Guam Election Commission from last night, either just before or on the heels of the announcement that the Election Commission was going to be conducting a recount.
Just say, what do you generally say?
Well, first of all, I'm pleased that majority of the Commission members have decided to follow the law and ensure that there's a recount in the process.
There are still other issues that were raised before the Commission that we will be reviewing further as a result of today's hearing.
What do you think about the decision to make the recount through the tabulation?
Well, first of all, we wanted to ensure that there was a hand count, because in a hand count process, you would have representatives from all the parties overseeing the actual counting and ensuring the integrity of the process. So that's one of the reasons why we requested a hand count be conducted. Unfortunately, it was not happening.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. They had asked for, I didn't realize that they had asked for a hand count on the recount over at the Guam Election Commission. The Guam Election Commission has decided that they will conduct a recount, but they're going to be wheeling out all of the tabulation machines in order to do that. They start at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Should be done 6 or 7 hours later, according to Maria from the Guam Election Commission. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. The radio station is KUSG Hagutnia, 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray Gibson. We've got Fox News Live coming up next. On the other side of that, Kevin Kerrigan from the Guam Daily Post, and Blake Watson and I will pretend to talk about sports. That's all I had right here.
His final journey. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The casket of Senator John McCain now on its way to Washington, where he will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda tomorrow. This morning in Arizona, McCain was remembered fondly by friend and former Vice President Joe Biden.
I always thought of John as a brother. We had a hell of a lot of family fights.
McCain and Biden were friends for decades. McCain's former chief of staff, Grant Woods, on their 35-year working relationship.
It was at once a little bit harrowing, a little wild, a little crazy, but a lot of fun and the greatest honor of my life.
A funeral service will be held for McCain Saturday. He'll be buried at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland on Sunday. A top Republican senator asking a federal agency to take a closer look at Google. Fox's Jared Halpern live on Capitol Hill.
Utah Republican Orrin Hatch, a member of the Senate's Judiciary Committee, is asking the Federal Trade Commission to take another look at Google's online search practices and digital advertising. In a letter to the agency's director, Hatch notes new anti-competitive concerns, citing reports about data collection and Gmail users' privacy. Google has also faced criticism from President Trump this week, who tweeted allegations the company has a bias against conservative content. Google says it does not bias results toward any political ideology. Lisa.
Jared, President Trump telling Congress he's canceling a pay raise that most civilian employees were due to receive in January, blaming budgetary constraints. In a letter sent to House and Senate leaders, he says we must maintain efforts to put our nation on a fiscally sustainable course, and federal agency budgets cannot sustain such increases. Authorities in New Mexico say multiple people have been killed in a bus crash along Interstate 40. Greyhound says the bus was heading from Albuquerque to Phoenix, and there were 47 people on board. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Taste the sizzle at Chili's with our new fajita flavors. Our signature fajitas are served with sliced bell peppers, caramelized onions, topped with chipotle garlic butter, and chopped cilantro. Build your fajita with over 16 ounces of tender grilled chicken, juicy steak, and a dozen pieces of seasoned grilled shrimp in the family fajita trio. All served with warm flour tortillas and fresh toppings like mixed cheese, guacamole, salsa, and pico de gallo. Experience bold, sizzling fajita flavors only at Chili's. More life happens here.
offering state-of-the-art MRI, full-field digital mammograms, full digital X-rays, and 4D ultrasounds. FHP Health Center provides comprehensive diagnostic medical imaging with the convenience and access our patients deserve. Our highly specialized board-certified radiologist ensures high-quality, patient-focused care with every visit. Call the FHP Health Center at 646-5825 and press 2 to schedule your appointment today. Most insurance is accepted, including Netcare, Aetna, and TRICARE.
The family of an unarmed black Texas teen killed by a white former police officer spoke out about the ex-officer's sentence that was handed down yesterday.
Former Balk Springs officer Roy Oliver was sentenced to 15 years in prison for the murder of 15-year-old Jordan Edwards last year. But Edwards' family says the ex-cop can see life again. Their relative cannot. Stepmother Charmaine Edwards says she's also concerned about the trend she sees in how cops operate in some cases.
They kill someone, it's justified, they get off. That's what we've seen, and if that is the behavior that's going to continue to be displayed, our kids don't have a future at all.
Prosecutors sought up to 60 years. Oliver says he fired because he thought his partner's life was in danger. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
A court appearance for the man accused of setting off a pipe bomb last December in New York's Port Authority bus terminal. Akayed Allah's trial is set to begin October 29th. A major legal victory for Colin Kaepernick in his grievance against the NFL.
In a major blow to the NFL, an arbitrator has ruled against the league, calling for a dismissal of Colin Kaepernick's case. This paves the way for a potential trial in Kaepernick's grievance against the NFL, claiming that the league's owners colluded against him to keep him off an NFL roster over his spurring the movement of protesting during the national anthem in the name of social injustice. The ruling, though, only applying to Kaepernick, not to his former San Francisco 49ers teammate Eric Reid, who's also alleging owners blackballed him. Kaepernick and his attorney Mark Garagos now have the opportunity for greater discovery in the former quarterback's case. Kaepernick has been a free agent since March of last year when he opted out of the last season of his deal with the 49ers. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
A new study finds the TV industry's hiring of first-time female directors and directors of color hit record highs for the second year in a row. The Directors Guild of America study found women represented 41% of first-time TV episode directors in the 2017-18 season. Lisa Lacera, Fox News Radio.
Here at APL, our core values give the company its heart and soul. Whether it's connecting your business with our global network through our newly enhanced service or investing our efforts into giving back to the community, APL is committed to serving you. We humbly honor the opportunity to find innovative solutions for you and your business. To learn more about our enhanced service, call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com/Guam for more details.
Apply today for First Hawaiian Bank's United Mileage Plus credit card. And upon approval, you will be entered to win 2 round-trip business class tickets on United. You'll also earn up to 30,000 bonus miles, 5,000 upon opening your new account, and 25,000 after spending $1,500 within 3 months. And you'll get 2 times the mileage on United ticket purchases. Apply by August 31, 2018. Stop by any branch or visit us online at FHB.com. Terms and conditions apply. Sweepstakes starts on July 1, 2018 and ends on August 31, 2018. Open to legal residents of Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands aged 18 years or older. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Visit www.fhb.com/United Sweepstakes for official rules and complete details. Member FDIC.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Don't wait another day and waste another $1. You can start saving today. At Guahan Insurance Services, we are here to help protect your investment and save you money. We offer insurance advising for business, car, and home insurance. So come and visit us at our new office at Camacho Landmark Center at Marine Corps Drive in Tamuning, and let us show you that you can count on us for all your insurance needs. Call 475-1162.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. News time here at The Point is 8 minutes past 8 a.m. this Friday morning. I'm Kevin Kerrigan. Here's a look now at some of the top stories from the Guam Daily Post. Last night, the Guam Election Commission deciding to recount the ballots cast for the top two finishers in the Democratic gubernatorial race during last Saturday's primary election. The gubernatorial team of Senator Frank Uggan Jr. and Alicia Lim Tiaco asked for the recount on Monday. It'll take place tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Guam Election Commission office in the GCIC building in Agana. The Uggan Lim Tiaco team finished second to the team of Lou Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio by a slim 260-vote margin. In reaction to the decision, the presumptive winners, Lou and Josh, issued a statement yesterday saying they respect and support the Guam Election Commission's decision to conduct a recount. We agree that the public must have confidence in our election process, the statement said. Meanwhile, candidate and Senator Frank Uggan Jr. said he was pleased with the decision as well for a recount, but they had requested a hand recount. GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan on The Point this morning telling host Ray Gibson that the decision has been to conduct a machine recount. Guam law requires an automatic recount if the difference in votes is 2% or less. However, there was some dispute over how to calculate that percentage, and election law is silent on what formula to use. The Interior Department's Office of Insular Affairs confirming that GovGuam will receive $77 million in Section 30 funding for fiscal year 2019. Delegate Madeline Bordayo advised Speaker Benjamin Cruz of the decision in a letter released yesterday. In her letter, Bordayo wrote that the amount reflects the adjustments for the Guam War Claims Program and from past year Section 30 remittances to Guam. This year, for the first time, war claims were deducted from the Section 30 amount. $6.4 million in all is being deducted in war claims. The Section 30 amount would have been over $83 million if the war claims had not been deducted. In response to the news, Governor Eddie Calvo issuing a statement saying this means we'll be able to pay more tax refunds and address other obligations. Speaker Cruz, meanwhile, also issued a statement thanking Bordayo for confirming our Section 30 estimate and adding that he hopes that the governor will rest easy now that the sky isn't falling and the budget is balanced. The now confirmed $77 million in Section 30 funding is about $9 million more than the $68 million the Calvo administration thought might be received. We'll have more news after this.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
We get it. Gas and utility rates keep rising with no end in sight. But with Double Play from GTA, you can get an extra sweet summer deal that'll save you extra cash. Sign up today and get 50 megabits per second with fiber home internet, unlimited talk and text, plus 25 gigabytes of wireless data. And new customers get the first month free with no contract. Save over $500 in the first year and get extra this summer with Double Play from GTA. Conditions apply. Visit gta.net for more details.
11 minutes past 8 a.m. here at The Point. Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio issuing a statement yesterday asking for a speedy resolution to the investigation of the gun-grabbing incident last month at the barbecue block party in Tumon, during which he approached a uniformed Guam police officer from behind and lifted the officer's handgun out of its holster. The lieutenant governor said that he is confident that he committed no illegal action and the public deserves resolution on this matter. I believe the findings will show that my intent was public safety, said Tenorio in his statement. The incident has been heavily politicized, concluded Tenorio, and he said he wants to set the record straight. Tenorio has previously said he meant his action to be a teaching moment for the officer involved after observing that the weapon was loose, but later admitted that the teaching moment was his. The AG's office has only confirmed that an investigation is underway, but they have declined to make any further comment. Despite a decision from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services yesterday to allow Guam Memorial Hospital to keep its CMS certification, Hospital Administrator Peter John Camacho warns the GMH is not out of the woods yet. He told the Guam Daily Post yesterday that there will be a follow-up visit to verify that GMH has complied with the corrective action plan that the federal agency accepted. Separately, Camacho also warned that the hospital faces possible sanctions from the electrical fire that occurred on Friday, July 27th. The follow-up compliance visit from the federal agency could occur at any time, said Camacho. CMS surveys are unannounced. GMH was at risk of losing millions in federal funding on October 3rd after an April survey by CMS inspectors found numerous deficiencies that threatened patient safety. But now that CMS has accepted the hospital's plan to correct those deficiencies, GMH will keep its Medicare provider status for now. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. Right now with a look at weather.
Well, thanks very much. Let's see. Mostly cloudy and breezy today with isolated showers and thunderstorms. There's scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight as well as tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies and isolated showers. Might see some of those begin to sneak in on Sunday, and then we'll round out the weekend with them. Southwest winds up to about 20 miles an hour, decreasing to about 15 tonight. Highs 88 degrees and overnight lows of about 78 degrees. The sun will rise tomorrow morning about 9, 10 after 6 o'clock, and we've got sunset tonight at 6:33. Radar look now with Michael Knight.
Yeah, things are starting to kind of build up a little bit with the heating of the atmosphere, getting a few more showers out there. Just some distant rain bands from Super Typhoon Jebi. It's going to continue pushing to the west and then turn to the west-northwest later on today and then tomorrow. So we can look at some of this kind of ticking up, and we were talking about this monsoonal feature that's stretching out to the east side of the storm that we can clearly see on the satellite here. And that is going to pull through because right now, as you can see on the satellite picture, very impressive storm is actually tracking almost due west, maybe even a little slightly south of west. Yep. So if it's not pulling away from us, it's going to pull that stuff through before it pulls away. And that's what's expected to move in starting tonight and into tomorrow and possibly into Sunday as well. But should start clearing out by Sunday and making way for a nice Labor Day holiday.
Yeah, because MWR's got a party going on somewhere this weekend, I want to say. I think it's Sunday day.
I think Sunday won't be bad. I think Sunday will be just fine. I'm going to the beach. I don't know about the rest of you.
All right, well, that's why God made beaches. 8:14 in the morning, and that's news and weather together right here on The Point.
Sometimes a penny saved can lead to much more than a penny earned. With GPA Energy Sense rebate program, the power is yours. Earn money back while saving on your monthly power bill. GPA Energy Sense rebate program will help lower your initial costs when purchasing approved GPA energy efficient appliances and upgrades with monthly savings you can expect. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
It's 8:15 in the morning, and I want to talk about King's Restaurant because it's Friday, and they pay me to do it. And so I want you to think about lunch today. What? Well, it's just disclosure. I got to be honest, right? I mean, I would talk about it anyway just because I like the food there, but I mean, the fact that they're also paying me to talk about it, that's just icing on the cake, just grooviness all over the place. So Fridays, the big deal for lunch is beef tenactac. It's totally yum, and you're going to enjoy it. But maybe you're not a beef tenactac kind of person. Maybe you're like a vegan, vegetarian. You're going, well, can I have a tenactac that's a beef tenactac, but it doesn't actually have any beef in it? And they'll laugh at you, but they'll find a way to accommodate, I'm sure. Check them out for lunch today at King's.
If you can dream uncommon design and unprecedented engineering, you define the 2018 Lexus. The boldly designed IS Sport Sedan's aggressive design stimulates the senses.
Advanced paddle shifting puts the exhilarating performance of the IS Sport Sedan at your fingertips. With deep, luxurious seating, the ES350 offers an ultimate level of comfort, while cutting-edge engineering delivers a thrilling drive.
Put yourself in a 2018 Lexus.
Now with special incentives.
At Atkins Kroll.
No, that's a good point. You know what? Blake's made a very, very good point. We were talking about a vegan version of beef tenactac.
They shouldn't get anything that they can substitute for meat. It's like you come up with your own dishes.
Right.
You're gonna trash meat eaters, and you're gonna look down upon them. Then fine, y'all come up with something. Oh, it's vegan chili. No. You got to come up with like a
whole other thing. Yeah. You can't call it chili because chili is supposed to have meat. It's like when they do like a vegetarian lasagna.
Right.
What's the point?
Nope. Right? No, just say I'm eating eggplants layered.
Chili is the spice. You can put chili on vegetables, can't you?
Yeah.
So you can still call it chili, right?
Yeah.
technical, if you want to get technical about it. But I
can
see
see Kevin's
the
a kitchen
point.
kind of guy. He knows what's up in the kitchen.
Well, it's like, oh, hey, I'm vegan, but here's my chili. It's like, why don't you just eat meat if you want chili? Otherwise, just
chilied lettuce, chilied
find
tomatoes.
something else to do. 8:17 in the morning. Wait, I'm supposed to be talking about somebody else too. I got you right. Security Title. If you want to end the discussion and debate about vegan food, then go find the people over at Security Title. They'll talk you through it over a glass of wine, but also help you with all of your real estate concerns. If you are one of those people that just baffled and bamboozled easily at the concept of real estate and buying and selling stuff, talk to them first. They'll help straighten you out.
Sizzling hot, that's what our special summer loan is, with rates as low as 4% and amounts up to $50,000. You can use your money for whatever you want, like back to school expenses, tuition, travel, or paying down expensive credit cards. A sizzling hot special summer loan with great rates as low as 4% at Bank Pacific today.
Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal Credit Opportunity Lender. Conditions apply. As low as 4% APR.
And portions of the program also brought to you by a whole bunch of my friends. They're your friends too. Guam Regional Medical City, the first choice for all of your open heart surgery needs. American President Lines, they're shipping the future. Micronesia Renewable Energy and American Water Tech. Smarter water, better water.
The Ray Gibson Show, your new News Talk headquarters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Hey, WhatsApp me too. You can WhatsApp the radio station 988-5874. That number again is 988-5874. And I'm going to see if I can, while Blake and I are getting ready to pretend to talk about sports, I'm going to see if I can pull up. It's got to be easily one of the best fight scenes that I've ever seen. I think this is way better than anything that we might have seen in the old Rocky movies. Talking about the now viral video of. You've seen it, right?
Not only have I seen it, so where I live, that's the closest gas station in my house.
No way,
so
really?
I know both of those ladies very well. I mean, like, I don't know their names or anything, but like
Right.
I see them on. I mean, I see them about 2-3 times a week. Both of
You
them.
get your gas there. You get your
Seeing them
supplies.
anymore.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, the one in the hoodie, by the way, the one that was, the one that initially didn't start it but retaliated,
Yeah.
and then kept retaliating. She ain't no joke. She's I mean, like, when I have to look up at her. She's got some height on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, and all we're seeing, of course, is the downward angle. We're not getting any audio on this thing, so I don't know what the nature of the fracas was all about. But you see how quickly it escalated, and all of a sudden there's 4 people behind the counter, and then look, you get the one guy that, look, I just wanted to buy my Slim Jims and some gum. Can I just maybe should I come back? I don't know what's going to happen here with these people, and it goes and it goes and it goes. This 2 minutes worth of this tickle fight they've got going on at the gas station.
Just hair pulling, and I'm like you. I was thinking, because that could have easily been me. The one at the counter. I'm like, what do you do? Like, do you just, what I would have done? I would have just kind of maybe taken a step back, reached around slowly, grabbed one of those hot dogs off the shelf, just like dressed it up and started eating it and watching it, just started enjoying the show. I'll pay for this, don't worry. But
So I need to send a copy of this to Jerry Roberts. I got to say, this is material for the next extra point. How to deal with girl fights in your office.
Yeah.
What do you do?
You know what? I wonder too, because that gas station's supposed to open at 5:30, and usually when I'm driving by around 5:30, they ain't open. There's a line. So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
I recommend using water from a distance. Just throw a bucket on them. Like you do cats.
They're not cats. Just get out of
Believe
here.
me, it will get their attention, especially if it's really cold water.
I'm sorry. That's going to go in the marketing videos for 76 and mobile, don't you think? This is in the training.
At least we're not doing this.
We'll fight for your savings.
It's another excuse to go visit the man cave. It's 8:21. Time for sports with Blake. United Airplane Poll. That's a sport, right?
Yeah, is that coming up?
Yeah, in a couple of weeks. 13th annual United Plane Poll will be Saturday, September the 15th.
Okay.
And the deadline to register is Thursday, September the 6th. $600. Write the check out to $300 payable to the American Cancer Society, $300 payable to Guam Cancer Care, and that will get your team uploaded into the competition.
I want to say it's the Purebred. Is it Purebred are the reigning champions, or did they win 2 years ago and maybe somebody else won that? I think they won recently, the Purebred folks.
I don't
If you're
know.
going out there, you're going to have to go pull a plane against some black belts.
The winners are the cancer people. That's, I'll just, I'll do the touchy-feely thing there because I honestly can't remember who has won that.
Yeah, I think I think last year I believe it was the Purebred Jiu-Jitsu dojo that won, but I could be wrong.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, right.
What do we do? We actually train on big ropes, and they do this thing that makes it look like it's a oscilloscope sine wave. I mean, that's an actual
the battle rope curls.
I don't know what that's good for, but it looks great, right?
It's good for stabilization, Ray. All the stabilizers.
So that's one of the big important events that's going to be coming up, and there's still time. You've participated in this before. We've done it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a long time ago. Yeah,
okay.
a while back, a few years ago, and it's a lot easier than you think if you have a certain amount of people helping you out.
Yeah, I recall us not winning, but I also recall us not coming in last place, and that's fine. Sometimes that's what you play for, is not to come in last place. At any rate, 8:23 in the morning, and a big weekend for sports coming up. 3 days worth of sports weekend, right?
Yes, 3 days worth of sports weekend, and it seems that the second is that Sunday. I believe that the GML will start their championship series. Awaiting the Astros Game 4. Orioles lead series 2-1. But last night the GML rolled on Rays, took care of the Redhawks. They swept them in the postseason, and kind of a bummer too, because there was an injured player on the Red Hawks squad, and they didn't have a deep bench. So there was nobody to substitute, so they had to call the game. They had to forfeit. Player went down in the 8th inning, and so the Rays, they take it. Is there a final score? It doesn't say. No final score. I guess they just called it. But either way, looks like it was 8-0 when the game was called. So
and so that will be the beginning of the series, right?
Yes, awaiting the Orioles Astros, and then elsewhere we got IIAG, and it seems that the hot streaking Geckos will go do battle down in Academy this evening as the Cougars take on the Geckos in that rivalry for IIAG high school girls volleyball. Elsewhere, we got GNYFF playing on both Saturday and Sunday. And then seems that everybody's off on Monday. Everybody's just going to kind of relax and chill out.
All right. Just a reminder that we have there's going to be DUI checkpoints on Sunday.
Yes, I saw that. Why Sunday? Because it's a 3-day weekend?
Because it's a 3-day weekend. They want to, raise funds.
I mean, I drink at home, so it's not my problem. But wouldn't they get more money doing it like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I think they did them. In fact, I think the last 2 Fridays they've had DUI checkpoints, right? So
Well, they don't announce the ones on Friday or Saturday.
Oh, okay, all right. So those just pop up, right?
They're kind of always on patrol. But I love it's seemingly more often than not. There's almost always a story in the magistrate report about a police officer pulling somebody over, and that always leads to yet more fun. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it just turns into all kinds of just fun and frivolity.
And what I love about it is that people voluntarily get themselves in trouble by talking too much.
Yes. But this is where the operator of a white Nissan Sentra had been pulled over by Officer PJ, and Officer Skilling requested the female driver's license, a valid driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance, which naturally she had none of. Don't have a driver's license, did not have with her any vehicle registration, and proof of insurance. And then the cop says, well, we'll just run the license plate. So they ran the license plate on the car, and that was, the license plate was actually related to another vehicle. It was actually attached to another different car, a Chevrolet Silverado.
That's my car.
They ran the VIN of the car that she was driving, and that one there was, the plates had been confiscated by the cops on the car.
That's happened to me before.
So not just, you want to the woman shouldn't have been on the road, period. She's got no license, no registration, no insurance. The license plates were stolen, and the license plates for the car that she was in had been confiscated by the police. This clearly has not gotten a clue that she's done something wrong. This is what I call it. It's the come to Jesus moment. It is the time where you got to make right with God.
Get up, it's Jesus Day.
If you want to get into get right with society. Anyway, so they take her to the police department and begin to conduct an interview with her. Somebody looks through the interview glass and find her leaning forward trying to hide something. And when they asked her about it, what they found was an improvised glass pipe with residue of suspected methamphetamine and 2 green-colored heat-sealed plastic straws containing a crystalline substance. Now, at this point, the prudent person would shut up. No, not her. Not her. She's already in trouble for the.
How old is this woman? Lady? Girl?
33 years old. Okay. And then she starts accusing the police officers of setting her up. She said, "You blankers set me up. You guys planted that blank on me." Can you imagine?
It happens all the time.
Yeah. I get it. That happens all the time. I watch
Anyway,
First 48.
The cops are going to be pulling people over on Sunday night. So just a note, if you're going to be partying Sunday night at the MWR End of Summer Bash starting at 3 o'clock, the event kicking off at 4, admission is free, going to be taking place at Polaris Point on Naval Base Guam. But this is good. You know who's going to be in it? John Dank.
Really?
John Dank's performing.
What? That's there's a, over on Star 101 where I do a morning show, morning 6 to 10. There was a group from Netherlands somewhere. Anyway, they're called Lucas Graham. Kind of like the John Dank show. But nobody in the band is named Lucas or Graham. And that's exactly how John Dank is. None of them are named Dank or John. It's very confusing, but they have really good music. I'm a big fan.
So Pop Rocks and Soda is going to be performing local deluxe. Fat Tofu and Talent Box will all be on there, and they're supposed to have fireworks at 8:45.
Ooh!
So Sunday night, if you're looking for fireworks, it's at Polaris Point.
Oh, okay.
MWR. You want details? Go to page 9 of today's Guam Daily Post, and you'll be able to see all of that, all of the other details on that. And if you go to the very back of the Guam Daily Post, you can get information on the GRC EPOW to Two Lovers Point 8.6 mile run. Show at 4:45 will go at 5:30 in the morning, and Derek Mindell is going to win.
That's the 8 miler.
Ryan.
Isn't that 8 miler?
8.6.
8.6.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's up from Tumon, then you go up to Two Lovers Point, and then you have quick breakfast and mimosas, and then you come back down.
Not only is it one of the longer races, but there's a big hill in the middle of it.
Yeah.
There's a big hill in the beginning of it.
The end of
it. You're a mile and a half out, and then you've got to go up Santos Hill.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah,
and that in the middle. there's more to go. That's only the first mile and a half of this race, maybe 2 miles, right? You go up that hill, and then there's an uphill grade to Two Lovers Point. Then you go inside Two Lovers Point, and then you get to the part where you turn around, and there is this steep grade right before you get to the interior of Two Lovers Point, and that's where first time I ran it, I thought I was going to vomit. And then I did.
I forgot to mention this really quickly. Your Father Duenas Friars, Ray, they're going to take on Guam High in the game of the week as both undefeated. Guam High riding off a 52-0 win over Teads High, and the Friars edging out their bitter rivals, the George Washington Geckos. So that game going down tonight, and I believe the Panthers host the Friars. So that game will be up on the hill of Guam High.
All right, James. The kids of Guam High like their school being called Guam High.
Yeah.
They are they're the Guam. It's like being called Texas High in Texas.
Right.
There's a couple Texas Highs, and it's like, why do you get to be Texas High?
James Howard wants us to talk about UFC 228 on September the 8th, Woodley versus the Till championship fight for the welterweight title. I don't have to care about that because Tuck's not in it, right?
I think Frank, that's like a week away. I don't know. We'll talk about it next week. But yeah, I think Frank the Crank's in that one. Is that the one in Dallas?
I don't know. That's all the information I have. UFC 228, September 8th, Woodley versus Till championship fight for welterweight title.
Yeah, okay. Well, go Woodley, I guess. I don't know. No, yeah, Tuck lost via unanimous decision by and it was really interesting. The folks over at GSPN, they did a very interesting take on an article. They interviewed the guy, the one guy walking the planet who has beat both John Tuck and Frank the Crank in UFC. He most recently just beat via unanimous decision John Tuck. His name is Dober, Brent Dober, Danny Dober,
right?
Drew Dober.
One of the above, yes.
Yeah, native of Nebraska. He's fought and beaten Guam's 2 UFC fighters, John Tuck and both Frank the Crank Camacho, this year, 2018, both by unanimous decision.
That guy better not come to my village, man.
No, he had nothing but he said he basically went on to say that they, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically went on to say that they, their work ethic, is second to none. Their will to fight, they have got no give up in them, and their spirit, that he saw them as more than worthy opponents, not components.
Good thing I'm with my chick, otherwise I'd kick you down, Brown.
But yeah, that is going down. That's the one. UFC 228. Frank the Crank Camacho will be on that, and like your listener said, Woodley versus Till. But most importantly, it's going down with Frank the Crank. And I had that earlier, but I can't reference my Instagram right now. But we can talk about it next week.
We'll do it next week.
Yeah, the week before.
In the meantime, satisfy yourself with a Google image search of the women of the UFC. It'll be a whole lot of fun taking a gander at some of these.
We
ladies.
have one. Brogan Walker Sanchez is in Invicta, which is the women's only. It's basically like the women's minor league of UFC. Then they do well enough there, and they go on to the actual UFC, which is the majors, but for both men and women.
Right.
So we got that. Have you ever met anybody famous, Ray, and didn't know it? Like, just didn't really be like, hey, how's it going? And then, like, you walk away and be like, wait a second.
Is
that Jay Leno?
No, I'd actually, I want to say one of my brushes with fame was I saw Sting at a place called The Wave in Waikiki in 1983. It was
prime
like,
Sting.
No, it was 84. So, yeah, they were,
The Police?
They were
Was
at
it
the
Police
end.
Sting?
Yeah, it was the police.
Okay, yeah.
But I didn't recognize him right off. I mean, because the guy, walks in, he just looked like a regular guy. I said, dude, I know this guy. Who is this guy? And man, I know him. And I'm thinking, I know him from Guam. It's like, did you go to JFK? I used to hang out at JFK, maybe GW or something like that. I looked at him, and then it occurred to me, because I saw a couple of other people, and he had an entourage, and I thought, he must be famous. And then I know why I know him, because he's on the record covers that I used to play at the radio station.
So there's a video going viral. That's happened to me, too, before. I was going down a long escalator at Dave & Buster's in Dallas, and I had come from upstairs where the pool tables were, and I was going down into the arcade with some buddies. And, so I was a little hazy, a couple beers in after a game or so of pool, and see this guy, a lone guy, coming up the other escalator. And I see him coming. It's a long escalator. I kind of look at him like, hey, how's it going, man? He's like, hey, what's up? And then I get all the way down the bottom of the escalator, and I just look at myself, and I'm like, wait a second. That was Emmitt Smith. And the whole time it was Emmitt Smith. But I said all that to say there's a viral video going on, a young kid, maybe 4 or 5, 6 years old. He is at Patriots training or practice, and he's wearing a Tom Brady jersey. And Tom Brady's standing next to him, signing autographs. And he gets over to him. He's like, hey, how's it going? And the kid looks up at him, and he looks at his dad. He goes, who's that? And his dad goes, it's Tom Brady. He's like, oh, hey, can you sign this? But he's wearing the Brady jersey while it happens.
I love that story. All right, 8:34, that's enough stories out of us. And that was almost a sports story, too. That's Blake Watson. He does a morning show over at Star 101. We got a breakaway. Got traffic and headlines with Kevin Kerrigan coming up next.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, it's a Subway Big Hot Pastrami.
My Big Hot Pastrami?
No, back up. My Subway Big Hot Pastrami. Get your own.
Get your own Subway Big Hot Pastrami. Tender, juicy beef on freshly baked bread. Enjoy yours with mustard and pickles. Get a Big Hot Pastrami at your favorite Subway location. It's so good you won't want to share. For a limited time only. Subway. Make it what you want.
Now brought to you by Furniture Kathy Style. Here's Kevin Kerrigan from the Guam Daily Post.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. In the headlines from the Daily Post this morning, despite a decision from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services yesterday to allow Guam Memorial Hospital to keep its CMS certification, Hospital Administrator Peter John Camacho warns that GMH is not out of the woods yet. He told the Guam Daily Post yesterday there will be a follow-up visit to verify that GMH has complied with the corrective action plan that the federal agency has accepted. Separately, Camacho also warning that the hospital faces possible sanctions from the electrical fire that occurred on Friday, July 27th. The follow-up compliance visit from the federal agency could occur at any time, said Camacho. CMS surveys are unannounced. GMH was at risk of losing millions in federal funding on October 3rd after an April survey by CMS inspectors found numerous deficiencies that threatened patient safety. Beginning November 1st, United Airlines will run 2 additional flights a week between Guam and Hong Kong, adding 10,000 seats through March of 2019. The airline announced yesterday that the 50% increase in seat capacity was designed to meet the growing demand between Guam and Hong Kong during the 2018-2019 winter peak travel season. United customers will have the choice of 6 weekly flights. With the addition of 2 evening flights on Tuesdays and Thursdays, United will deploy a 737 for the additional twice-weekly flights. Senator Michael San Nicolas is proposing a resolution calling for the U.S. Census Bureau to include an earned income tax credit question when counting migrants from the freely associated states. The compacts of free association require a census of the regional migrants every 5 years, and the latest one is set to take place this year. San Nicolas said the count would form the basis for seeking an increase in compact impact funding for Guam. Currently, there is no question on the census survey to ask if the respondent family is an EITC recipient. San Nicolas said he met with Lorraine West, chief of the Population Division of the U.S. Census Bureau, and during that meeting, he said he pointed out that the EITC takes a big financial toll on Guam taxpayers, and it should be included in compact impact reimbursements. For these stories and more, log on to postguam.com or pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post.
You're missing a story in the newscast there, buddy. It's Tom Higa's birthday from Docomo Pacific.
Oh,
he's celebrating his birthday today.
Geez, we'll have to put that on the front page.
Front
tomorrow.
page, yeah. Maybe an update online at GuamDailyPost.com.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you, Tom Higa. Maybe a little bit of Gary's Gang, if we can find it and play it on the radio. Preceding newscast brought to you by Furniture Kathy Style. Enjoy their Labor Day sale happening today, starting at 10 o'clock when they open their doors. Winona will show you all of the big deals there. 15% off blue tags, 20% off white tags, and 25% off red tags. And I tell you what, I was lurking in the store and saw a couch set there. And I'm hoping that one has a red tag on it. You will, too. Check it out today. It's going to be going on all the way through the weekend until the 3rd at Furniture Kathy Style, open daily, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Kathy Sorensen. Some of you may remember me as the lady who bought too much furniture and passed on the savings to you. I'm back with Furniture Kathy Style, and prices are rolled back 10 years. That's 2018 style with 2008 prices. Come check us out and have a chance to win your dream home makeover. Everything is on sale up to 25% during this grand opening event. Visit us at Furniture Kathy Style in Agana, Instagram, and Facebook.
Our Connect time is 8:39. Yes, they are the practical choice. They don't think that you should pay any more than you absolutely have to on incredible deals that they've got for things like mobile plans and internet and push to talk. Only guys in town that do push to talk. That's why they're the practical choice at iConnect.
Get a 20-ounce stainless steel Circle K Coffee Club tumbler. Just stop into any Circle K, sign up for our Power Pass rewards program, and after your purchase of 15 cups of premium coffee, any size, you get your tumbler for free. While supplies last, conditions apply. See store for details. Get a 20-ounce stainless steel Circle K Coffee Club tumbler. Just swipe your Power Pass key fob when you purchase Circle K Premium Coffee, any size. And after 15 cups, you'll get your tumbler for free. While supplies last, conditions apply. See store for details.
It's time for a Wendy's break. Wendy's 4 for $4, giving customers like you great value every day. For just $4, you have 8 options to choose from, including your all-time favorites, the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, the Crispy Chicken BLT, which both feature bacon. Just, FYI. Meat candy from Wendy's. It all comes complete with nuggets and fries and a drink at Wendy's. 4 for $4. What a deal for a Wendy's meal.
If you are looking to rent trucks, forklifts, or construction equipment, including Kohler generators, then contact Morico Equipment on EPOW Road, 649-1946, or click moricoequipment.com. Box trucks, reefer trucks, freezer trucks, flatbed trucks, tractor trucks, water trucks, forklifts, excavators, backhoes, loaders, skid steers, bulldozers, compact rollers, telehandlers, boom lifts, scissor lifts, diesel generators, air compressors, light towers. moricoequipment.com.
I love that. Win a 2019 Lexus ES350 and support the Red Cross. Raffle tickets on sale at Atkins Kroll. The drawing will be held on September the 22nd, and you need not be present to win.
Guam Regional Medical City,
We bring the healthcare advances of the world directly to you. We are an acute care hospital that complements your needs with our robust outpatient specialty clinics. From preventative care to critical care, we strive for consistent excellence at GRMC. Our core philosophy is where patients are partners, which means we work as a team to make a healthier version of you. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, portions of the program brought to you by Subway, featuring the Big Hot Pastrami. It's back. Tender, juicy beef, freshly baked bread. And wasn't Marvin talking about a new bread that they're going to be rolling out there soon? You might even want to try this on a wrap. Get a Big Hot Pastrami at your favorite Subway location today. So good you won't want to share. For a limited time at Subway, make it what you want.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they'll continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,500 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 475-4545, Upper Tuon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959.
For second string traffic at 8:42 this morning, it looks like everything is generally running clear. There are some places where there's a lot of cars, but they're all moving the speed limit, so I won't waste any time on that. Up Santos Hill might be a little bit of a slowdown before you get to the intersection, and getting out of East Sunset over by the cargo area at the A.B. Wanpat International Airport, and then you go down that weird intersection they have there, which I absolutely hate. I have performance anxiety. I'm never sure whether I should stop or go on my way into the airport. At any rate, apparently a lot of people are just in stop mode there, so watch out for a little bit of a slowdown in traffic that is going down from there, making the left-hand turn onto 10A and then to Marine Corps Drive. It's just one of those weird places that we got to deal with. 8:43 in the morning. That's right now traffic on the point.
Stay clean and connected with Docomo Pacific and mobile. For a limited time, stop by any participating mobile store and get a free chamois when you purchase $10 worth of Docomo Pacific prepaid load. Keep your car looking spotless when you go prepaid. With the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas, you plus Docomo Pacific, better together. Offer valid while supplies last. Some conditions apply.
Studio time. It's 8:43, almost 8:44. My name is Ray Gibson. This is the Ray Gibson Show on the Point 93.3. And every once in a while, I get an opportunity to talk to somebody that has got real talent, as opposed to me. I just make this stuff up as I go along. And with me in the studio, I've got Catherine Payne. Good morning, Catherine.
Oh, good morning.
Welcome to Have I interviewed you before? Have we ever done interviews on your books before?
No, I haven't done any.
It's possible because I forget things. I've been doing this long enough, and you see lots and lots of people come through here. And in this case, I'd asked, we're going to be talking about your book. It's called Tep Top Unay. Right. But it's not your first book.
No, it's my third book.
Your third one. Now, what were the first two about?
Well, the first one, they're all Pacific themed. The first one came out in New York, and then the second one just came out in June in Hawaii.
Okay, but they're about what? The Pacific themes are children's books?
Right, they're all children's books. Yeah. Okay. The book that came out in Hawaii is called 10 Little Surfers in Hawaii. It's a Hawaiian spin on 10 Little Indians, but it has a happy ending.
That's cool. Thanks. And then the other one was the first one?
It's A Pearl in the Night.
Okay, and that's...
It's no longer available.
Hey, what happened?
Oh, yeah, it came out in 2013.
Okay, but so we move on from there into a book that you've got now, and this comes out of the University of Guam Press.
Right.
And tell me about the story of Juan.
Right. So it's a story about a little boy who becomes a great sand sculptor, but he meets obstacles along the way, and he learns a lot from his elders, from his uncle and his grandparents, and it's a lot about intergenerational sharing, which is really special in our Chamorro culture.
No, I agree, and I worry that that's something that might be going away because you've got so many young people. They gravitate towards social media, they gravitate towards electronics and the television and things like that. And I worry that they don't recognize the value of some of the elders in their lives, and some of the things that we might know that we'd love to be able to pass on might not have any practical applications. My Uncle Gonzalo taught me many years ago how to make rope. And go out into the boondocks and find exactly what you needed, and then you put it into the machine, and then pretty soon you've got some kind of rope that you can use to lasso the carabao.
Oh,
I don't own a Carabao. I'll never need to know that. But it's nice that he shared the information with me.
Right, and there's a real beauty in that kind of sharing. And it's not just about sharing knowledge or skills, but it's also love and encouragement as well.
And some very simple yet valuable gifts that you can get from the elders in your life. What inspired you to write that? What was it? What was going through your head as you sat down, obviously, and said, "I think I'm going to write a book. What should I write about?"
Well, I've actually had this idea in my mind for years because it takes place at the beach, and I love the beaches, so I go to them quite often. And this is actually dedicated to my grandmother.
Do you have a favorite beach?
I like Ipa Beach.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's dedicated to my grandmother, and from her I learned a lot about the Chamorro culture. She spoke primarily in Chamorro, just a little bit of English. But I learned a lot from just watching her and just, the way she cooked as well. And, she didn't follow a recipe. She just kind of threw a dash in of that and dash in of that. And I thought that was intergenerational sharing as well.
And so is that the way you cook at home?
Yeah, that's what I cook too.
That's how we do it. Yes, we all learn from Grandma and Grandma's kitchen and exactly the same way. Unfortunately, and it's something that we're all in our family trying to recreate is my grandmother made incredible fried chicken, and we've never had that taste since. And according to my Uncle Joe, it was a very simple, basic recipe, but we just never got the ingredients right. We never got the portions right. So it's one of those things that she took to the grave. But whenever we get together, we eat fried chicken, and we always remember our grandmother and the great fried chicken that she used to make. So I can understand that as part of the inspiration into going into the story. So how did that lead you to develop the character Juan and the elders that he associates with?
Well, I thought a lot about the other elders in my life, like my uncles and my aunties. They're still a part of my life, and they still give me advice when I have problems. So I thought it wasn't just grandparents, but it's also, besides our parents, is our uncles and aunts.
So the whole family unit. And that's the way we are here.
Yeah.
That's the way we are. It's never just your mom and dad. We're all raised by a whole bunch of people.
Right.
And we all get these lessons from them. Okay. So now tell me, I'm always curious about this. I believe that everybody has got a book in them. I think everybody has at least one novel inside of them. It's just a question of being able to write the story, be able to organize the story, and keep track of characters and that kind of thing. What is your process?
Well, the first thing was that I wanted to decide which genre I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do novels or children's books. But for me, I realized that I like the simplicity of children's books, so that's why I chose that. So after I chose that genre, then it became a little bit easier because I wasn't struggling so much. It just kind of came naturally.
Yeah. And so we've got the genre down, and then you start to put this together. Now, do you think in terms of the illustration, it being a children's book, do you think in terms of the story first, or do you start to think about the illustrations that will go with the words that you're writing?
I think about the story first. I think about the plot, and then I did study the writing conventions of the genre, and I did study the market as well. So I kind of pulled all of those things together. But then to make my manuscript stick out, what I do is after I learn rules, I figure out when to bend or break them.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it? I like that. So with the children's books, specifically in that particular genre, what are some of the things that the rules that apply there? I mean, how do you choose the words that you put in the stories, then the kind of characters that you use, and obviously there's it's still 3-part play, right? So what are some of the things that you've got to remember as you push through that process, even for something as simple as a children's book?
Right. Well, for this, there was code switching. So there was alternating between Chamorro and English, and I thought a lot about that. And I thought about the way that my father speaks to me. So he alternates between Chamorro and English. Like, he doesn't tell me, okay, starfish is this. He just actually just refers to it as that. So that's reflected in this book, and I think that's how a lot of younger Chamorros are learning the language as well. But I also thought about in terms of the beginning, the middle, and the end. And the end has a surprise to it, and it's not the conventional ending that we see, because I try to break the rules of children's book writing.
Oh, how interesting. So who did the illustrations?
Neil Katange. He's a really talented local artist. Yeah, and he brought a lot to the table, not just his illustrations, but his ideas as well, too.
So what's the motivation behind doing this? Aside from, I've got a story in my head, I want to get it out, I want to be able to put it in this form and make it accessible to kids. What was your overall goal?
Well, I wanted to reflect local people and local culture in this book. So, if we look at the illustrations, they reflect, Chamorros and other people who call Guam home. home. It has the beach, which is really important for all of us. And then it has, like Lottie Stones. And it has so many other things that we find important in our culture.
Well, I'm glad that you've got the idea of sand sculpting, because that's always something that has fascinated me. I've seen the competitions, and every once in a while somebody will try to do a big sculpting competition here, and I kind of hope that your book will inspire somebody to get something like that going again, because I think there's art to it. There's a particular skill to be able to do this.
Right, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, my versions of sand sculpting were to take the Dixie cup and turn it over and try to make a little castle out of it and do those kinds of things as a child. But there's so much more that can be done. Where's the book available?
So the book is going to be available at our book launch, which is 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Hey, that's right. We have work tomorrow. Where's it at?
It's at UOG's RFK Library.
Okay. And you'll be able to get the book, obviously, a signature or a little autograph from the author?
Right. So I'll be doing a book reading, book signing. We have a weaving demonstration because there's actually weaving reflected in the book. And then we have arts and crafts activities. And then after the book launch, the book will be available at the UOG Press website, Amazon.com, and local bookstores, as well as Bonita Baby.
There's a growing, I want to say, trend with children's books, in addition to having the book and reading along with it with your parents. And I highly encourage that. I think that every parent should spend some quality time with their children, reading to them right up until the age of about 30 or 35. I'm kidding here. The point of it is, among some of the other things that are happening is people will take these now and do some kind of an audio book that goes along with it, an audio companion. I've done that with Ramon on the phone, and I did another one recently about another girl and her problems with overeating and not paying attention to her diet. So I did the annotation for that. Is there a plan for something like that with any of your books, or that one in particular?
I haven't discussed it with any of my publishers, but I'm definitely open to the idea, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and it's not difficult to do, and it gives you it gives the book another dimension. There's so many things that you can do. Can you imagine the voice of one? Can you imagine the voices of the elders as they tell him the stories, and show him how to do the things that he's got to do in the book?
Right, and just to hear the ocean, that would be wonderful.
In and of itself. Anybody you want to thank? Besides me.
Well, I want to thank the illustrator, Neil Katange. I want to thank the managing editor of the University of Guam Press, Victoria Lola Leon Guerrero. They both made the story so much better.
You know what? It is probably worth interviewing Victoria Lola Leon Guerrero on all of this, because it seems to me that they're very, very busy. There's an opportunity to talk with you this morning, and I think there's another book that they're going to be launching there in just a little bit. Certainly very busy.
Yeah, they're doing great work. Yeah, and it's really important for our community.
What was it like when you opened the box and there's your book?
Oh, it was exciting because I really saw it to come to life, and just to be able to hold it in my hands is a really nice feeling, because, in this world we're so digital now, but just having something tangible is really nice.
Yeah, I'm not so much a reader on an iPad kind of guy. I understand it. I don't like it. I usually use that for manuals and things like that. But for reading, there's nothing like holding the book in your hand and actually turning the pages when you do all of that. Do you have another book in you?
I have written other manuscripts, and I'm just waiting to find out if they've been accepted or not.
Yeah, yeah. But do you have? Can we talk about the other books?
Oh, actually, I can't talk about them. Yeah.
Really, it's very secretive, isn't it? In the world of writing, is it because you don't want anybody to steal your ideas, or are you more? Is it because you still haven't fleshed it all out yet?
Yeah, I mean, some of my ideas are still kind of half baked.
So I'm asking this question of an author because I'm curious about it myself. Like I said, I think everybody's got a couple of books in them, a couple of novels in them. I've got a couple in me, and there are places where I have a hard time. I've got one that's practically finished, but the problem is I don't think I've got enough meat on the bones. How do you know when you're finished?
I get a lot of feedback. So I do share my manuscripts with family and friends, and that really helps because they're honest. They'll tell me what they think, and then I do submit my manuscripts, and then I get feedback from publishers as well.
And so when they say that it needs more work, you can put more work into it. Every once in a while, they'll just come back and say, "Yeah, actually, this looks pretty good."
Yeah,
interesting stuff. Catherine Payne, and again, the book signing and the launch is going to be tomorrow. What time?
At 10 a.m. at UOG's RFK Library, and I hope to see you all there.
All right, I got you. 8:55 in the morning. It is the Ray Gibson Show. We'll continue after this.
Are you paying too much for power? Do you want to reduce your energy costs and save some money? Then call Micronesia Renewable Energy and get a solar energy system installed on your roof. Whether it's ownership or a zero money down program, there's never been a better time to go solar. Sign up in August and MRE will pay 1 month of your power bill so you can save even more money. Not a homeowner? No problem. Refer homeowners to MRE and get paid $400 cash. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
Is it me? Is it me? Can I go? I got you. 8:56 and change as we make our way through the Friday version of the Ray Gibson Show here on 93.3 The Point. And what an exciting morning it has been. It started off with showing videos of a girl fight in the gas station. And I'm sorry, I'll play this in the background as we talk about it. And like I said, we played this a little bit earlier in the morning as we started to play the Cheers song, and that was a beautiful thing because it's where everybody knows your name, and all of a sudden the girls go to fighting. I'm sorry, I love that. Speaking of Facebook Live, maybe an opportunity to say hello to a couple of folks that have signed in recently. Nate DeKnight, Malou Milligan is there. I see Henry Gonzalez and Lawrence El Cairo, Marvick Pareja, Yvonne Caldwell. Nice to see Nebraska in here today. Tedo has gotten a bunch of comments. Good to open a... in reference to one of the stories that we were yakking about earlier, and that is the idea that they're about one signature away from turning Saipan into the what's going to be the marijuana capital of the Mariana Islands. That's what the M is going to stand for. CNMI is Commonwealth of the Northern Marijuana Islands. Right there in the chain.
All right, that was good.
You like that?
I got to give you props.
Hey, not a problem, Brad. They beat us to it, guys. They beat us to it, and I, there's at least one person, Denise Legaspi, on the deal says, you know what? You know what's going to happen with this? Is they're going to become the Amsterdam of the Pacific.
Yeah, oh, sure.
I mean, there's all kinds of people. And we were, looking at the thing for a long time. In fact, maybe Nate DeKnight. Maybe we'll talk with Nate on that because it might be one of those things where we look at our little cousins up in the Northern Mariana Islands, smaller island, Saipan, different kind of infrastructure, if you will, with regard to their hospitality industry. They have decided to embrace casino gambling in Garapan, of all places, not in Rhoda or Tinian or any place like that. In fact, the Tinian place is all dried up now. But they're going to have it up in Saipan directly, and now this thing with the marijuana. And is it possible that this could turn into a big opportunity for them? And so, I'm looking at some of the commentary. My brother Tedo saying what they need to do is open up a burger joint in Saipan. Call it Munchies. Nice. What's Guam waiting for regarding approving medical songi? You snooze, you lose. Only on Guam.
Ticket prices should be $42 one way.
Well, yeah. Debbie says I'm moving. Where are you going to stay, girl? It's not cheap there. Sometimes they got different prices on all kinds of stuff in the NMI. Closing in at 9 o'clock in the morning. We got more stuff to talk about. We'll make our way through the small talk portion of the program after the Fox News Live. Excuse me. That's coming up here in just a moment. I think I need something in my coffee. There's all this talk about marijuana. Raspy. I think I'm just going to let the music play up to the top of the hour. I'm going to go grab myself some water or something cold and refreshing. I'll be with you in a minute.
Job security. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A member of President Trump's administration who's a frequent target of his jabs keeps his position for now.
President Trump told Bloomberg News Attorney General Jeff Sessions' job is safe until the midterm elections in November, but declined to comment when asked about keeping Sessions beyond November. Bloomberg quotes President Trump as saying he would love to have Sessions do a great job. The president has frequently publicly criticized his attorney general for recusing himself from the Russia investigation, a move that ultimately led to the appointment of special counsel Robert Mueller.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill. Multiple people reported dead when a Greyhound bus crashed with a semi-truck along Interstate 40 in New Mexico. The bus is seen on video with front-end damage, the truck on its side with its cargo on the road and on the median. State police haven't yet said how many people have been killed. The body of Senator John McCain expected to arrive in Washington this hour for a public viewing tomorrow at the Capitol Rotunda, where he will lie in state. This morning, a service for the late senator was held in Arizona. Colleague and friend, former Vice President Joe Biden, said McCain's story was an American story.
Grounded in respect and decency, basic fairness, the intolerance for the abuse of power.
Biden lost his son, Beau, to the same type of brain cancer that took McCain's life. McCain will be buried Sunday at the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis. Police are investigating after a gun scare at a high school in San Francisco. School spokeswoman Gentle Blythe.
All students are safe. We have one report of a non-life-threatening minor injury, and it's still being investigated as to the cause of that injury.
3 people were arrested. A gun was recovered. Police not yet saying if those arrested are students at Balboa High School. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Are you paying too much for power? Do you want to reduce your energy costs and save some money? Then call Micronesia Renewable Energy and get a solar energy system installed on your roof. Whether it's ownership or a zero money down program, there's never been a better time to go solar. Sign up in August and MRE will pay 1 month of your power bill so you can save even more money. Not a homeowner? No problem. Refer homeowners to MRE and get paid $400 cash. It pays to be an MRE customer. Conditions apply. Call 632-2613 for details. MRE, the smarter choice.
Grilled salmon, petite sirloin. Can't decide.
What are you doing?
Making my top 10 list of favorite dishes at Ruby Tuesday.
You really need to get a hobby.
But I can't decide. There's no way I can narrow down so many classic dishes to just 10.
Then it's a good thing Ruby Tuesday did it for you.
It's the all-time favorites menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam. We took our most popular dishes and put them on one great menu for only $14.99. Hickory pork chop, Parmesan shrimp pasta, prime loco moco. 10 top sellers at one great price. Pick your favorite for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
A court appearance for a former Michigan State coach accused of being part of the cover-up in the Larry Nassar sex abuse scandal.
Former MSU gymnastics coach Kathy Clegg turned herself in ahead of an arraignment hearing in Lansing on charges she lied to investigators in the Larry Nassar sex abuse case. Investigators say 2 teens complained to Clegg about Nassar in the late 1990s, though Clegg's lawyer denies that, saying they'll fight the charge that carries up to 4 years in prison if convicted. A judge ordered the former coach to post $500 for release. Larry Nassar's now imprisoned on child porn and sex assault charges. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
More prison time for a Roman Catholic priest who ran a meth ring in Connecticut after he failed another drug test while on supervised release from his first stint behind bars. Former Monsignor Kevin Wallen appeared in federal court in Hartford. A judge had warned him earlier this year after he failed several other drug tests that he would be sent back to prison. More charges filed against Heather Locklear related to a June incident where authorities say she attacked a police officer and an EMT.
EMTs and cops responded to her home on a disturbance call. They arrived to find Locklear intoxicated, and the actress allegedly punched a cop and EMT when they tried to load her into a vehicle. Heather will be charged with 1 misdemeanor count of interfering with a law enforcement officer and 2 counts of misdemeanor battery for allegedly attacking the first responders. Locklear is also facing 5 charges from an incident in February when she was arrested for felony domestic violence as well as battery on a cop. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
French actor Gerard Depardieu, subject of a rape complaint. French officials say a woman filed the complaint on Monday, and the case was assigned to a Paris prosecutor Wednesday. Depardieu's lawyers said on French TV the actor absolutely denies any rape, sexual assault, and any crime. Lisa Lacera, Fox News Radio.
Apply today for First Hawaiian Bank's United Mileage Plus credit card, and upon approval, you will be entered to win 2 round-trip business class tickets on United. You'll also earn up to 30,000 bonus miles, 5,000 upon opening your new account, and 25,000 after spending $1,500 within 3 months. And you'll get 2 times the mileage on United ticket purchases. Apply by August 31, 2018. Stop by any branch or visit us online at FHB.com. Terms and conditions apply. Sweepstakes starts on July 1, 2018 and ends on August 31, 2018. Open to legal residents of Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands aged 18 years or older. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Visit www.fhb.com/United Sweepstakes for official rules and complete details. Member FDIC.
Somebody is going to come to you today and say, hey, what are we doing for lunch? And you're not going to have an answer. You have one now. I'll tell you. Just say we're going to King's because they have beef Tinactac today. That's the big special. They have a different lunch special every day. Monday, Salisbury steak. Tuesdays, beefsteak. Tomorrow, pork sinigang. On Wednesdays, yesterday was meatloaf. And again, today is beef Tinactac. Now you're ready for lunch at King's.
In illness and in wellness, Calvo's Select Care is health care that is there for you. That's why over 80% of the Guam medical community places their trust and insures with us. We offer our members wellness and fitness programs for a healthier lifestyle and provide a comprehensive medical network on and off island to help members from unexpected illnesses. Contact Calvo's Select Care today for more information.
Ding, 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 ding. It's 9:06. Portions of the program brought to you by a whole bunch of people, including American President Lines. They're shipping the future. GRMC, Guam Regional Medical City, and for all the first choice for all of your open heart surgery needs. Micronesia Renewable Energy and American Water Tech, and the Smarter Water, Better Water. And the thing about American Water Tech is we've got one of their machines here. And you might have heard prior to the newscast where I was having a problem. It's a dry spot in my throat, I think is what happened. It's supposed to be beer in there, but there's not. Anyway, so I needed to go and get myself some other kind of lubrication, and I found it. I've got another Nissan bottle here, and then I put some American Water Tech in here that comes out of that machine that we've got, which is awesome, right? It connects up to the water supply. And then it just goes in there and it gets purified and I think
it comes out hot.
calcified.
It comes out hot or cold or room temperature, whichever you prefer.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a swig of this American Water Tech Smarter Water, Better Water while we hear this.
Ray Gibson brings you closer to the action. Watch and listen live on thepoint.gu.
It's magic. I tell you, it's magic. You would think, if you listen to the conversation long enough, if you listen to the broadcast longer, you would swear that Michael Knight and I have known each other and have been working with each other for the last 30 years. Nothing further from the truth. I found this guy in January, and we just, I think he knows the way my brain is clicking, and that's great.
It can get a little scary sometimes.
It does, doesn't it? You just go, wow, how did I know he was going to do that? 8 after 9. And that's, I think, the magic of this program. The thing about the program, can I just tell you one of the reasons why I love doing this show? And it has everything to do with the fact that I don't know what's going to happen next. I've got an idea, pretty flimsy idea of where the show can go based on the headlines, based on the stories. And then all of a sudden, some will pop up, and we can go chase down that rabbit hole for a little bit. For instance, the last thing I was talking about last hour was marijuana.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And this is not the marijuana station, all right? We're not the place that, that spends a lot of time occupied with the subject. To the degree, though, that it is interesting as it will relate to Guam, the CNMI, the Senate there, has, by a vote of 6-2, I guess, decided that to go along with the House version of the bill that says we're going to be doing recreational marijuana here.
Light it up, let's get Chinese eyes, man.
What? I didn't hear that. What did
he
he
say? Light it up, let's get Chinese eyes. That's cheap.
Light it up, let's get Chinese eyes.
Totally inappropriate, and
but it came. That comes from a time where we knew how to have a laugh at each other. Can you imagine if they tried to do Blazing Saddles again?
Oh, it would.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It just what you gotta be kidding here. Can you imagine redoing All in the Family? with Archie Bunker again.
Right.
There's another one. Never get off the ground. So we're talking about marijuana up in the NMI, and it's an interesting conversation to me from a couple of different angles. One of them is how will it impact hospitality up there?
Yeah.
How is that going to change the nature of the visitor to the CNMI? And you might be thinking, Japanese. Right, we're going to get a lot of Japanese young kids from Japan because they can't smoke marijuana in Japan, but they are aware of the marijuana culture, and we'll try to get as close to it as possible without actually being in it. Oh yeah.
For me, I never think of Japanese when I think of pot smokers, or even people that want to, because it's such a polite culture.
But they've got a lot of hidden hang-ups and real uptight about a lot of stuff, including start with sex and then make your way into drugs, right? But if you really wanted to, I'm sure you could find a marijuana cigarette in Japan.
Oh sure.
Cost a fortune, and it's easier to eat dolphin and whale in Japan than it is to get marijuana. I was in Cairns years ago. In fact, Continental took me down there on a fam trip, and there used to be a head shop along the Esplanade, and it was a fun place to go. They didn't actually sell marijuana, but the place was just it was packed, and it was packed with Japanese tourists.
Wow.
From about the age of 18 to about 30 or so.
So you're saying it's kind of a fascination to them.
Yes. So they would get fascinated and fly in and have special marijuana trips. Man, I can see them doing charters in Japan, and just say, we're going to Saipan. We're going to go to the Songi Islands and see what it's like, and be able to get their hands on some recreational marijuana.
Yeah, buy a BC package.
Yeah,
Bud and casino package.
They could technically do it now, because my recollection is everybody in Saipan smokes marijuana. That's I was at a friend's house, and they said, "Hey Ray, you want to smoke some?" And I said, "No, that's okay, but I'll watch." And I was expecting them to gather and then go around the back of the house.
No, yeah, but
right out there in the street, smoking a marijuana cigarette like they smoke like a regular cigarette. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's my cousin. And I was filled with wonder about all of this stuff. So it's I think for the people on the ground there, it ain't going to make that much of a difference. But I think it's going to add to a little bit of their hospitality dynamic. And I think it will go along well with the other sin tours that you can do while you're in the CNMI. And then there's this little conversation that I'm riffing on that's taking place on the about going to Saipan. Debbie Canata, was that you, Debbie? Says, I'm moving there. And but so okay, go ahead and move there, but it's not cheap in Saipan. They got the same issues we've got with the cost of goods. Things a little bit more expensive. Try to buy some gas. I think gas is expensive here.
Yeah, the only saving grace is it's a much smaller island. But still, you got to get around.
Debbie's asking, does the law include Rota? Yes, because that's the CNMI, right? I mean, so if it's legal in Garapan, it should be legal in Rota and Tinian and all of the other islands up in the north. And then there's a conversation about, okay, well, then I don't want to live in Saipan. I want to live a little closer to Guam, so live up in Rota, Song Village, right?
I've heard good things.
And apparently there's some good things to say about Rota buds.
Yes.
Says, Rota buds are mighty fine. Okay, yes. Pink elephants on parade. How nice is that? So here's the next thing. Is it possible that we can use this, the whole conversation, and strike out again on the reunification concept?
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all the same chain. We're all the Mariana Islands.
Yes, we are.
It's not Guam and the Mariana Islands. They're the northern Mariana Islands, but Guam is the southern of the Mariana Islands.
If Guam sinks, the rest of them will too.
So I'm wondering if maybe this would spur the conversation. You know what? We'll need to smoke over it. We'll need to smoke on this. We just need to roll up a big fatty and then sit around and have the conversation about...
It would be an expanded conversation.
Yeah, but the problem is we'd forget it. It's like 20 minutes. We'll smoke it up, and then we'll solve all of the world's problems, and then somebody will say the next day, they say, well, what'd you guys come up with? We'll go, I forgot. Yeah. I forgot.
Got a burger, though.
Dave was supposed to write it down.
Dave's not here, man.
The next Cheech and Chong movie is going to be shot up in Saipan. That's all there is to it. 888-8255. Play around with that. I'm serious. I think it's an interesting topic, and I think there's a lot of different places where we can go to be able to drive a little bit more of a conversation. And so as you point out, if it's good for Saipan, it'll be good for Guam. If it's bad for Guam, it's going to be bad for Saipan. But I can imagine, I was talking about the charters between Japan and Saipan, right?
Yeah.
How about the charters from here to there?
That's what I'm saying.
How about the charters from Guam to there?
Get a little puddle jumper, twin engine. It'll seat about, 20 people? You could
just go get a big gambling and smoke it up weekend.
Or a boat. Take off from the port.
9:15. Now, what was I forgot? Luis Muñoz introduced a piece of legislation. While I'm yakking about something, can you dig that out from the legislature and give me a little bit of the chapter and verse, because I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was a stopgap. It was something to do between here and medicinal marijuana, right? That's my recollection of it. It was one of those things where while they're sorting out all of the problems that will drive us eventually to have a good, reliable medicinal marijuana system here, like we have with our mass transit, then we'll be able to use this, whatever the methodology was in the legislation. So take a look at that. 888-8255. As I say, we've got the WhatsApp that is working this morning, 988-5874. That's 988-5874. And if you're thinking, well, I wonder if the radio station has the video of those chicks fighting behind the counter at Shell gas station, the answer is yes. We have the video of the girls fighting behind the counter at the Shell gas station, and it's going down, as the man says. Forget about the UFC, forget about the MMA. Did you see that? Did you see I'm gonna kung fu around your hand there, just like that? Oh, wow. And then we get into there's the hair pulling. Once they grab the hair, that's it. It's done. They're gonna hang on until they either get tired or get broken up. but to me, many times as I watch this, the fight thing is, they're all tangled up on the ropes there, and there's like two people there that are trying to break them up. And then you've got, if you can look at the picture a little bit, then you've got just the customer that's just kind of, what do I do here? What am I supposed to do? Do I put my stuff down? Are they going to finish up in a second? Are they going to be able to put gas in my car? Just all of that stuff. I can imagine that there's probably a lively conversation going on at the HR department over at the Shell company this morning, as they are probably, everybody there is getting the WhatsApp on that. 988-5874 if you want to WhatsApp to me. Here we are. It's 17 after 9, and but not a whole lot by way of guests that are going to be coming in between now and the end of the program. So I thought maybe I'd just take a look at the table of contents. Because, as I say, it is kind of the roadmap of where the show it would normally go had I not gotten into conversations about medicinal marijuana and marijuana in the Northern Mariana Islands. So first thing on the table of contents here is the recount is on. We spoke with Maria Pangilinan a little bit earlier this morning, and she had indicated that, they're going to be working tomorrow. Fun starts about 1:30 in the afternoon, and they will go until the last ballot is counted by machine. Originally, the idea that Frank and Alicia had was for a hand count. But they're like, no, we have a machine. So we'll look at that. We don't necessarily want to have to go through 16,000 of these ballots to sort it out. So they're going to do a machine count. They figure it'll be done in about 6 or 7 hours. So we'll know tomorrow what the actual number is from the machine count between Frank and Alicia and Lou and Josh, and see if that number is still going to end up to be 260. Might be higher, might be lower. We'll see what happens. And then by and by they'll add up those numbers, the machine count numbers, with the provisional ballots. And they'll add the absentee ballots. And by September the 10th, the Guam Election Commission that evening should be able to define exactly who the winners are in all of the races that they're playing around with. Okay, so what'd you find?
Okay, well, it's Bill 302, and that's from Senator Luis Muñoz. It's a bill that would allow patients of medicinal marijuana to grow at home as many as 3 flowering mature plants and 6 juvenile plants at any given time.
Okay, but we have to be, quote, patients.
Yes.
So that means I'd have to go find somebody that will recommend marijuana for my particular ailments, right? That's okay. All right, so not quite and only for the people who are identified or identify as patients or would-be patients in the medicinal marijuana program. Okay, I got you. So I don't think the NMI is doing it that way. I think they're just basically saying, okay, smoke it if you got it.
Yeah, they're basically saying
and up to this amount, and you got to be over 21, and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, they've put it to the same legal level as alcohol.
Okay, so there we go. Speaking of alcohol, Roy sent me a picture of there's apparently a cannabis beer out there. I wonder if we can get some of this stuff for. They got that craft beer festival that's coming up towards the end of the month.
Yeah, it deserves a taste. You know, a test.
Concur, Doctor. I concur. All right. So, yeah, get that going here and keep our tourists here. You know what? Let's not do one of these us-them things. I think that there will be enough. And God, I'm shooting from the hip here. I have absolutely no research to back this up. Yeah. So that's me hinting to you to go
you would never
find
do that, would you, Ray?
No, of course not. But is it possible that the same way that we have tourists that come to Guam because they like to shop here and eat here and lay on the beach here, that they also have tourists that go to Saipan because they like to shop there and eat there and lay on the beach up in Saipan. So it's not a question of our tourists versus Saipan's tourists. I think that there could be markets that are out there that would gravitate towards Guam and or Saipan. And here's the oh my God, here's the other thing is you could the same way that you've got people, this is brilliant, man, I should be in the industry. I don't know why I'm not why am I not the president of GVB yet?
Because you love what you do.
Okay, the same way that there are varietals. I'll use the word varietals.
Nice word.
Thank you so much. Like you got skiing, you got snow bunnies, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I heard the skiing was good. I heard the powder was good in Niseko, so they'll fly to Niseko. Or I heard that the powder was good at, XYZ, whatever the destination is.
They have an app for that.
They're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we would have people coming to Guam to sample the Guam varietals of marijuana, right? And then, what?
In my vast array of sounds, I have nothing.
There's no sound effect for that.
Yeah.
But think about it. I'm just now. I don't remember. The quality of the marijuana growing up was when I was a kid. I don't remember it being all that great in comparison to other places that had marijuana. I mean, for a while, it always felt like the best stuff that you could get was coming in from Palau, real high THC content with all of that stuff. But it is possible that you could put together a tour of the islands.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so we could out of Japan, out of Korea, out of Hong Kong. Right, you start doing this. You start doing this thing. You fly to Guam, and you get a taste. The same like going to Mermaid's Tavern, right? You just go, what do we have on tap today? What does the brewmaster come up with today? And so you'd have different varietals that you could try here, and then you go down to Palau and you try it there, and then you come back up to the Mariana Islands and we hit Rota and try the Rota Buds. We'll go up and try the homegrown stuff out of Saipan. Yeah. And can you imagine? Look, they've got all of these different islands, right? So you could literally have a Rota, Tinian, Saipan, an Atahan, a Grigan, Mog, Pagan Island with the volcanic ash that they've got up there, the Pozzolan and stuff. Imagine how great the marijuana would taste coming out of that kind of thing.
As long
out of
as
that
the volcano
environment.
doesn't erupt, it's fine. Yeah,
that'd
be good.
That's what we'd call it, man. That would be like the volcanic stuff, huh? Dude, this. See the wheels spin around in here, and I haven't smoked anything. I am not smoking any marijuana at this time that I'm aware of. But what fun it could be just chasing it around, the business opportunities. You want to talk about this? No? Oh yeah. See, and look at everybody on Facebook. We're all chiming in on the same concept. Like Hawaii's pineapple farms. And Tedros says, Ramon, you better believe it. The Cannabis Cup. James Howard says, who else is playing around with the idea? Snoop Doggy Dogg can be the spokesperson. Thanks, Roy. Why not? and it's just a question of getting the legislature to act. Come on, we got Eddie Calvo, lame duck governor. And you know what? He's not going to want his legacy to be the guy that emptied out the treasury of the government of Guam like the other governors before him. He's not going to want that to be his legacy. He's not going to want GMH falling off the cliff to be his legacy. You know, there's a great chance for Eddie Jerome Baza Calvo working together with the brainiacs, what's left of the 34th Guam legislature, and pass a piece of legislation similar to what they're doing up in the NMI, and that can be his legacy. Can you imagine? Yeah, there's probably some stuff we got to deal with and get through with the federal government. I don't know, but we can we can all play around with it. Or there's people that are running for governor. I heard Ed Barbosa typing in "I'm in." Is that a subtle hint, Ed, to the people over at the Lou and Josh campaign? Just to make up. You know, Lou is actually from the '60s, right? She was around back in those days, glory days, head store on every street, 925. And she knows people in the banking business. So if there's issues on what you're supposed to be able to do with the monies, and we haven't even started talking about the taxation opportunities that you might be able to have. I mean, it's a whole new world of sin taxes for BJ to put his hands into somebody's pockets. Capitalize on that one way or the other, solve all the problems of the government of Guam and the Department of Education in one fell swoop. It's fun. 888-8255. 888-8255 is the telephone number, and you WhatsApp me at 988-5874. All right, getting back to the table of contents here, the recount is on. GCC has decided to use math, and you might recall earlier in the week, for those of you that pay attention to everything that I say, might recall that I'd spent a little bit of time punching through a series of mathematical formulas, and all of them netted different percentages of the differences between the candidates. I was able to come up with 5, and then somebody sent me a 6th one. But I didn't use it. I didn't like it. And then the Election Commission came up with number 7, math number 7.
I believe KUAM had a UOG professor who had a 5-minute video explaining precisely which of the formulas
which of the formulas to you. No,
but it's a 5-minute video.
Well, I don't want to play it.
No, especially from a professor.
But do you remember the formula?
I didn't watch it.
Why'd you bring it up, Dan?
Well, it's there. Because they want to look for it.
Because now I'm going to want to know which formula the actual statistician wanted to use. The one that I found most common on the web that answered the question of the percentage of difference between two numbers.
Right.
And if you look for that, because I think that's the question that we're trying to answer, what is the percentage of difference between Lou Leon Guerrero and Frank Uggan.
So you would divide the larger number of votes into the smaller number of votes, and that gives you the percentage.
The percentage of difference would come from taking you add up Lou's votes and Frank's votes. Right?
Yeah.
16,176.
Yeah.
Then you divide that by 2.
Okay.
Which will give you 8,088 or something like that.
Okay.
And then you take that number and divide it into 260.
Okay.
But that doesn't give you 2% or less. I want to say it actually gives you like 3%. And that's the correct mathematical formula for percentage of difference. But as I said, if the code is not asking about a percentage of difference, they're just talking about a difference in the percentage, and they left it up to the Guam Election Commission to figure out how they were going to do it. Like I said, they used a different math than I used.
I would like to currently, publicly, show my appreciation that you do not make me do math on this job.
Not a problem. Not a problem, because I don't want to do math either. Like I said, when I start talking about doing math, and we saw this, I did that forum at for the was it the Rotary Club? No, it wasn't the Rotary Club. It's the Chamber of Commerce forum.
Right, yeah.
And there's Dennis Rodriguez, and he was trying to do mathematics. He wanted to talk about the increase in the business privilege tax and how that affected the cost of a loaf of bread. And unfortunately, he didn't have the number in his head already. So he was shooting from the hip on this, and he got exactly the same look that I have whenever I've got to do mathematics in front of people. It's like when the teacher sends you to the blackboard. Here, Ray, here's the chalk. Go up to the blackboard and solve that equation. And I might know exactly what I'm doing at my desk. I might know exactly what I'm doing in my head, but I ain't got the skill to be able to do that up on the blackboard. It's just the numbers get to be too big in front of me. And anyway, so they're punching through that over at the Election Commission. We should have by happy hour tomorrow an idea of what the actual vote count is prior to the addition of the provisional ballots and the other ballots, the absentee ballots at the Guam Election Commission. All of that will be certified on September the 10th, and then we'll all be happy and then move forward with the great general election of 2018. Happy day. Happy day. And that should answer all of our questions, right? As voters? No. There's still the one big question that voters are asking themselves. Is Ray Tenorio guilty of the crime? The gun grab at the Glock party. And maybe somebody from the governor's office has finally gotten around to Ray and said, I've been listening to Ray Gibson on The Point for the last bunch of days, and he keeps saying this, so maybe you ought to do it. And that is, go to the Attorney General. Ray Tenorio needs to reach out publicly, loudly, to the Attorney General and say, can you please come up with something? It's politicized by my competitors in the race, politicized in social media, the attempt by the Attorney General's office to keep a lid on this for the entire time that the investigation is going on, I believe hurts Ray Tenorio's chances in the election. Ray Tenorio now believes it hurts his chances in the election and has decided that he is going to be going after the Attorney General's office. Now, some people on Facebook Live are viewing that as okay, come and arrest me now. Arrest me and charge me or exonerate me. But can you do something soon?
Yeah, well, it's just kind of hanging there like one of those bad chads.
67 days. 67 days. And so if the Attorney General's office came out with something today, it would still be 67 days between here and there. And then Ray can go on and start talking about the rest of whatever his platform is going to be, or as some people are beginning to suggest, beginning to distance himself a little bit from the Calvo Tenorio administration. I know it's hard because it's got his last name in it, and he and Eddie have been partners now for 8 years. Yeah. But if he wants to take the seat, he needs to, as many people have pontificated about, this primary election, a great example of how the voters are voting for change. The voters are voting for change. Blah, 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 blah. But if you want to buy that stuff, then you need to show that you are going to be a change agent.
Right.
And not a continuation of the 8 years of the Calvo Tenorio administration. That's, my own personal thoughts on that one. So we'll see what happens. But as I said, it's 67 days. Is that enough time to be able to recraft that image?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he should have started doing that even before the primary.
Yeah.
But
so recast yourself, and that's hard enough to do by yourself. You got to remember now, he's got to recast himself in the same public arena where Lou and Josh are going to be continuing to hammer their points home.
Right.
And you also have to do it in the same arena, the same public arena where Troy Torres lives.
Given some of the criticism of the claims of, big money buying the election just because they've paid so much money and they won, Lou and Josh. So you've got that now up against the former administration. Do you think people are just going to kind of see it as a case of, wow, we just can't win either way?
I don't know. I've pondered that, but I've never gotten to the conclusion of it.
Right. Yeah.
Are Lou and Josh are they a continuation?
Right.
Are they what did it say? Corporate? Are they too corporate in there?
Yeah.
Are they just another version of an establishment team?
Yeah.
If that's the way you want to use it, that's the word I was actually looking for. Establishment.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And maybe it's because I have been surprised lately by some of the things that come out of Lou's mouth and Josh's mouth. I tell you what, I'm I'm almost always, whenever I hear Lou speak, scratching my head going, I didn't expect that from her.
Yeah.
And so I don't know for sure if she's going to be an establishment. And nothing is popping. It's not popping into my head, the examples right now. But I'm sure you feel the same as you watch Lou. And I'm later on today, when I get some time, I'll see if I can rewatch the thing they did over at the PNC yesterday. They did this Facebook Live forum, and I want to watch that is to see if there are more of those moments where I've got an expectation of what Lou is going to say based on the many years that I've known her and the years that I knew her when she was over at a democratically controlled legislature. But most of the time when I hear her now, I'm not hearing that same person.
Let me ask this. I wasn't here. Was she voted out of office, or did she just step out of the legislature?
I believe my recollection is that she was among the roadkill in a particular election that gutted. It was 2004-ish, I want to say. We'd gone through a period, we were having a hard time, and so they raised the BPT, and like this legislature, backed up and changed it. There was a little bit of a back and forth there. And I think there were two things that upset people. One of them was that there seemed to be a little bit of, number one, that they did it, and number two, it was the hubris. We were calling for, we in the media, we in the public, were calling for an election to determine whether the voters, the taxpayers, wanted to see this tax increase. And I remember the line out of the legislature, and I'm almost positive it was Lou that said it, is, "We know better than you. We're the policymakers. We know better." Debbie says that she stepped down. I'd have to look. Okay. My memory's not working for me this morning.
And
whatever
of course,
reason.
my follow-up question would be, are there things about, and you said she doesn't quite sound like you would expect her to, so does she sound different than she did back then? You know what I mean?
She sounds a lot sharper.
Yeah.
Actually, and it's provocative. I think when Frank gets up and says something, I think I know what he's going to say. When Ray gets up and says something, I think I know what he's going to say. When Lou gets up and says something, I sit back because I'm not sure where this is going to go, and I know it's not improv. There's something about the way that she does all of that. 888-8255 is the telephone number. It's 9:36. My producer says, I got to take a break. We'll call it iConnect time at now 9:36. They are the practical choice. You need to get your hands on a new mobile system. You need to get your hands on the internet. You need to get your hands on push to talk, which means you've got to find your employees right now. Then that's the way you do that, my friends, with the practical choices they have at iConnect.
Hi, this is Kathy Sorensen. Some of you may remember me as the lady who bought too much furniture and passed on the savings to you. I'm back with Furniture Kathy style, and prices are rolled back 10 years. That's 2018 style with 2008 prices. Come check us out and have a chance to win your dream home makeover. Everything is on sale up to 25% during this grand opening event. Visit us at Furniture Kathy style in Agania, Instagram, and Facebook.
We got a whole gaggle of sponsors paying for things around here, including American President Lines. They're shipping the future. Micronesia Renewable Energy, American Water Tech, Smarter Water, Better Water, and GRMC for all of your open heart surgery needs.
At Guam Regional Medical City, it is our mission to become the island's premier choice for specialty care, like cardiology, pulmonology, neurosciences, orthopedics, oncology services, and more. We aim to protect our island from heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and diabetic complications. But should you suffer from such diseases, we're ready with world-class options, both inpatient and outpatient. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
For more information, dial 411. Portions of the program here brought to you by our friends over at Wendy's. 4 for $4, huh? What a great value. 8 incredible options to choose from, like the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, Crispy Chicken BLT, or the Double Stack Sandwich. Now, this all comes with nuggets, fries, and a drink. That's why it's called for 4 for $4. Find that waiting for you at Wendy's. And there's the music. That's the just keep talking music, right? Just stroll through it. Hey, Carla Branch is there. Carlo, what was the deal with Auntie Lou? Did she leave the office at the legislature by request of the voters, or did she split on her own? I honestly can't remember. But I want to say that she was all caught up in that get together from a long time ago on the taxes. Hey, Patrick Bamba and Daniel and Anita Gangs Cruz and Joe Beth Dela Cruz, Hoffa, nice to see you there. And Darlene Blas, Paula Perez Seguenza, I see Miriam Rupley, Daryl Taggarty. The only question is whether a common citizen or alien or whatever can do exactly as the lieutenant governor did and not face charges, or the lieutenant governor can show that what he did was within his job description.
If I had done that, you would have had to hire a new producer.
Yeah. Well, hey, if I had done it, I would have. You would have needed to hire a new morning guy, or figure out a way for me to get the show done from inside a room at Guam Regional Medical City.
Well, we could get you a cell phone at DOC.
I don't know. That would be fun. Referendum vote, mandate of the people vote has been tainted and will affect future referendums, knowing that they can drag the law we voted on for years without some kind of an implementation. Interesting concept there, Mr. Duenas. So we're so much smarter now, huh? After this teaching moment. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that commentary this morning. There was another conversation I wanted to have with folks over at the legislature. Is it Mike Sinicolas, Regine Lee? And I want to say there's at least one more person over there that think it would be a good idea for when they do the census on compact migrants here on Guam to find out how many of them are taking advantage of the EITC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure legally they can do that, but it would be good to know because they'd realize these people are really taxing us here. They are tearing us up.
But everybody takes advantage of the EITC, don't we? Isn't that something that is available to all of us?
It
earned
is,
income tax credit?
But the fact is, a lot of them come over here and they don't work, so they get a lot more EITC than the rest of us.
There could be, and some of them have larger families. I don't know. There's something odd about adding this into the survey. Number one, I think there are a lot of people that are taking advantage of it, and I don't mean taking advantage of it as in, hey man, I'm taking advantage of this. What a great deal for us. As much as it is, I think it's there. I think everybody is entitled to some kind of earned income tax credit based on their income and their outflow. And you can make that adjustment if you want to by visiting the lady over in HR and accounting. But more so to the point here. Is I don't see a whole lot of people giving up the information and possibly not even understanding the question.
Why can they not just go through the tax rolls? Surely that information would be easily obtained.
Well, you could. But you'd have to. It would be kind of a stretch into profiling, if you will.
Well, I don't.
So I mean, you call on. You look at Michael Knight's tax returns.
Right.
What assumption do you want me to make about you, Michael Knight?
Right.
Do you want me to assume that you're, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant? Is that the assumption that you want me to make? Is it possible that there is somebody from the Federated States of Micronesia whose name is Michael Knight?
Yeah.
And so
would be very likely. Yes.
There's that.
Along with Downey. Downey's a sister.
Yes, exactly. So is it possible that you would not be able to be as accurate as you think you might want to be? And a bunch of these folks have been living here long enough. Maybe changed the name. Maybe married into a local family. Yeah. And is there still EITC that makes up the portion of their tax returns? Absolutely. So I'm not sure whether that idea is completely baked, which is probably why it's in resolution form. Just something that we might want to send off to somebody. Government of Guam is going to be getting $77 million in the Section 30 funds. There's big amount of money coming through here. Thank goodness. But it did, when the conversation started coming up yesterday, I'm trying to figure out who wanted to say, I told you so more. Was it the people over at the legislature or was it the people over at the governor's office? And Madeline Bradalio trying to take credit for going back to the Department of Interior and asking them for some money. There was a conversation about, you guys at the legislature don't know what you're doing with the budget. Look, we're upside down. It's not balanced, all of that stuff. And then to come out and say, but remember, we're the guys that asked for it. So, and we got it. So it's our victory and not your victory. And BJ's whole deal was, yeah, we know, we put it in there based on largely on the fact that you had asked for it, and we knew that it was in both of your budget submittals prior to us starting to work on the budget. So as far as we were concerned, that was always the number that we were going to use. The sky is not falling. Get to work. Get back to work.
I wonder if they realize that as a regular citizen, none of us really care who made it happen. We're just happy.
It just is. We're all very, very happy that the money is coming in, and it's $77 million. And as BJ said, the sky is not falling, and let's figure out what the next thing is going to be. There are going to be traffic stops this weekend, Sunday, I think, and in all of the usual spots. There will be DUI ambushes out there, so the recommendation is to get a designated driver or just drink at home. Maybe that's going to keep you from being into Oozgow all weekend long.
Yeah, it's like I say on my show. Designated driver, phone a friend, because, friends don't let friends drive drunk. Call a taxi. They're not that expensive. Or just sleep it off where you are.
I'm pondering that. Yeah. There's and the more I talk to people about it, the more it seems to be an unused asset. That for me, an unused asset, but I mean, for a bunch of people out there in the world, there's a thing called Korean taxi. Yeah. And apparently I was the only one left on Guam that didn't know anything about it. How did I get to be 56? How do you do a morning show on a talk radio station without knowing about Korean taxi? And I just don't. I'd never known. And apparently one of the overriding reasons is, so you go out and you're having a good time with your friends, and you realize, okay, I'm too drunk to get behind the wheel, and I don't want to hurt myself or anybody else, so you called them up. And normally you take the taxi and they drop you off, right? And then you got to figure out how you're going to get back to your car so that you can live your life, right? Mm-hmm. But apparently these guys, you call them up, they'll come and get you, and then they'll call somebody else, and they'll take your car, so that when you wake up the next morning, your car's in your driveway.
Wow. I had no idea.
Right? I want to start drinking now.
Oh, well, I already have.
I wish I hadn't had all that cough syrup, lady. 9:45 in the morning. A couple of the other items in the table of contents that are worth talking about. The United bringing in more flights from Hong Kong. We spent a little bit of time with Sam Shinohara. Talking about that opportunity here, and as much as the airline, look, this is not going to be a big deal for United. People from Guam getting on an airplane to go out to Hong Kong. I think we've got ample enough seats now for that kind of thing. I don't think that there's going to be any kind of massive buildup in travel specifically from Guam to Hong Kong, as much as there's apparently demand from Hong Kong to Guam. Yeah. Which is I'm delighted to hear that. Sometimes you're down in Tumon and you hear the Japanese language. That's not a big deal. You hear more Korean these days. But every once in a while, I'll run into a group and try to sort out where they're from. And more, they are Chinese. Now, I can't tell the difference between the mainland Chinese and Hong Kongese and all of that. I know that there's a bunch of differences between them culturally, politically, etc. But I'm delighted that we are getting more than more and more of them all the time. And what's going to happen? Well, I think one of the other things that's going to happen is later in the year we'll start to see more of that, because they're making all these vast inroads from mainland China into Hong Kong. Yeah. There's supposed to be this huge train terminal that's going up in the city. Okay. And I was watching a little bit of the construction on that when I was there, and asking my buddy, so what kind of numbers are we talking about? He says in the millions of people that are going to be going through that terminal on a regular basis. Wow. And it is possible that they will go from parts in mainland China through Hong Kong and then find their way to the TCAT in Hong Kong, which is a in-town terminal. You take a quick train out to the airport that way. Great way to travel. But at any rate, so you've got these guys running through from there to the TCAT and then to where else? Guam.
Yes.
Guam.
That's what we like.
I would love to see something like that. Now, I don't know what it's going to cost them to do it. My understanding, I know a friend of mine is going to Beijing in the next few days. And I said, well, do you have a visa? And she says, yeah, I've got one. It's expensive.
Yeah.
They're very expensive, and I think going in both directions. The visas for Chinese to come to the States, and the visas for us here to be able to go to China. I've got a 10-year visa that will get me into China.
Oh, nice.
And it costs $300 in order to get that. But like I said, it's good for 10 years. Of course, that means I've got to travel with 2 passports because I've changed passports since then. So I've got to travel with my current passport and then the expired one with the current visa on it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's tricky.
That's the way that's going to work when I do that. But I'm delighted again to see something like that happen. And you know, are we still short in the budget for the government of Guam?
I think not.
Because they were asking for 78, and then we got to 77. So $1 million, I think, shy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. So here's what I suggest that we do.
See, now we're doing math again.
It's off by 1. 78's what they asked for. They're getting 77, right?
Yeah.
The difference is 3%. So this is how we're going to cover the gap. This is how we're going to. Everybody in the government of Guam.
We're going to sell weed.
Don't get me started again. Don't get me back into that conversation. Chanel Mariano Borja Salazar is on. You're late. You're late. What time did you leave Horse and Cat on your birthday party last night? Huh? What happened? What happened there? This Saturday's jackpot, the Mega Bingo jackpot. We talk about this from time to time, and it now seems like an opportune time to talk about it. Tomorrow's jackpot. Sales close at 6 o'clock tomorrow. The jackpot is $13 million.
What would you do with $13 million?
What would I do with $13 million? Yeah. I go to Home Depot and ask, I want one of each. I want one of each. That's, heck, $13 million. Go to Nissan. I want one of each. Go to AutoSpot. I want one of each. Go to Cars Plus. AK. I want one of each. And I get $13 million.
Go to a couple of radio stations.
Yeah.
One of each.
I might, something like that. $13 million. Cards, $9, $17, $18, and $34. Available at all Payless Markets, Agate Kimchi, Island Fresh in Chalampago, Daily Mart in Harmon, Day by Day Mart in Petey, Supermart in Migilao, 511 store in Dededo, and Day by Day store in Zotnia. And you might get your share of $13 million. Now, here's the thing that you got to remember is we're not playing in this alone. We're not playing in this alone. This Mega Bingo is played in a few other jurisdictions, and that's why the jackpot goes up so high,
right?
Because there's so many other people playing. But it might be worth it.
Oh yeah,
it might be worth it. Just swing by Payless on the way home.
It's like $1 a ticket for the pick?
$9, $17, $18, and $34. Is what these things are going for.
Wow.
So, so for a couple of $9 investments and a chance at winning $13 million or a share of $13 million.
Okay.
You were waiting for me to say that I was going to do something nice for orphans and widows, right?
Well, I was hoping.
It's 9:51. It would all go into the Ray Gibson Super Fund. More on that after these.
Stay clean and connected with Docomo Pacific and mobile. For a limited time, stop by any participating mobile store and get a free chamois when you purchase $10 worth of Docomo Pacific prepaid load. Keep your car looking spotless when you go prepaid with the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. You plus Docomo Pacific, better together. Offer valid while supplies last. Some conditions apply.
Security Title is honored to join in sponsoring Ray Gibson on The Point. My name is Alicia Blas from Agate, and this is where I start my day, listening to the voices of our community and sharing thoughts about issues that affect all of us. It all boils down to our people and our land. Putehi Igumamu. Protect your home. When purchasing or refinancing your home, remember to call the professionals at Security Title, just like you call Ray Gibson in the morning.
Hey, what's that? Oh, it's a Subway Big Hot Pastrami.
My Big Hot Pastrami?
No, back up. My Subway Big Hot Pastrami. Get your own.
Get your own Subway Big Hot Pastrami. Tender, juicy beef on freshly baked bread. Enjoy yours with mustard and pickles. Get a Big Hot Pastrami at your favorite Subway location. It's so good you won't want to share. For a limited time only, Subway. Make it what you want.
I just want to say hello to Chona. Echo, nice to see you there. Chanel. You ever notice that all girls named Chanel are hot? And John Bagaforo. Nice to see you there, Baggy. Now, did Baggy's name come up? I was asking online. I got an air conditioner that desperately needs some cleaning. And I want to say, that John's name came up on that. John, is that what you do for a living? Can I get you to come by and take a look at this air conditioner? Because it's ugly, I tell you. It's in bad shape. 9:53, the Ray Gibson Show for just a few more minutes. Bob Klitsky at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I want you to be listening for him. And it's 2 solid hours of logic and the truth. Here's the thing, is you might disagree with him, but you cannot disagree with the logical steps that he takes to draw his own conclusions. So it's always fun and exciting to listen to that. So what have I got here? And I'm trying to go through. It's the end of the week, and I want to make sure that I don't carry any junk from in here this week into next week. Because I think next week we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. And we're not going to have a lot of time to talk about it either. Because it's 4 days. Yeah, it's a 4-day week for us. I'm not going to be here Monday morning. Because you know what's going to happen? Monday morning, I'm going to wake up, and there's going to be all of these messages on Facebook from saying, where are you? Why aren't you on the air today? And the reason is because it's Labor Day. And they're going to go, but you've worked holidays before. Yeah, okay, it's different now because I'm the managing partner in this company, and I can say when I'm staying home and when I'm not. So Monday, I'm staying in bed for a while.
That means I get to stay in bed, too.
But we won't be in the same.
No.
All right. Leon Guerrero Tenorio's statement on the GEC recount. I spent already a lot of time talking about that. Congress of the United States House of Representatives. Madeline Berdalio's letter to Speaker Cruz saying it's $77 million, baby. Huh? Who do you live? Mike Sinicklis going to be able to do this for you? You think Mike Sinicklis going to be able to, shake the cages over at the Department of Interior to the tune of $77 million?
Interesting you said that.
Isn't it?
It's like Madeline's parting shot. Oh, didn't vote for me? Well, I got you money, and look how you treat me.
$77 million, yeah. Yeah, that was nice knowing you. Nice knowing you. That's all I wanted was another 2 years in Congress. That was it. Make it 18, round it out, maybe another couple of years after that, full 20 years in Congress. I already broke the record, but I want to break it so that nobody else will be able to do it. And all of a sudden, here comes a guy, upstart, from my own party, Mike Sinicklis, comes and beats me in the polls. But I still got Guam $77 million. And $6 million of that is going to be going to war claims and all of that. Tenorio wants gun-grabbing incident sped up. I am requesting an expeditious review of and conclusion to the matter before the Attorney General. I'm confident that I committed no illegal action and the public deserves resolution on this matter. The matter has been heavily politicized during the election season, and I want to set the record straight. And so come and arrest me, take me now, or lose me forever. You know the line Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
She was unknown then, right? Meg Ryan? They still did in that movie? She wasn't like big and famous yet, right? Because it's kind of a walk-on part.
Yeah.
Playing Goose's wife?
Had she done When Harry Met Sally at that point?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up.
I don't know. It's one of those Friday things. GDO on track to be the first district in the nation to have all of the schools accredited. Okay, maybe that one will go into next week. If it gets boring next week, we'll call John Fernandez and see what he's got to say about that. Nothing scheduled until Wednesday over at the legislature, and at that time they're going to be working on what? We don't know. I'll see what I can find out over the course of the next couple of days. Oh, this actually kind of important. So let me share this with you. On Saturday, September the 1st, the Route 1... My God. Let me just marinate in that moment. On Saturday, September the 1st, tomorrow is the beginning of the Burr months.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they'll be playing Christmas music in the malls in the Philippines.
When did that, all of a sudden, it was the beginning of the crappy 2018 for me for a long time. But now, you want to talk about turning the page on the calendar. September, October, November, December, right? Like 4 more months, and then it's 2019. It's finally started going fast. But I'm just noticing it now. Tomorrow is going to be the first of a brand new month. Brand new fiscal year in another 30 days. Southbound lanes on Marine Corps Drive reduced to one through lane starting before the Route 27 Alpha intersection to the Micronesia Mall, starting at 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. Motorists are advised to merge right before the 27A intersection. Route 1 northbound will be reduced to one through lane, and one right turn lane west of the Micronesia Mall intersection. The center lane will be closed. U-turn and through traffic are advised to merge left. The right lane will be restricted to right turn only on Route 16. There will be flaggers out there. There will be sawhorses. It's I don't know whether we're at the beginning or the end of the, what do you call it, of the construction there. But what they're suggesting now is that the traffic through from about where the Fatima Mobile intersection all the way to the Chicken Joy intersection of the Micronesia Mall is going to be caca.
Wow.
All weekend long. Wow. So merge is what they're saying. And zipper merge, guys. Zipper merge.
Yeah, take turns, man.
Yeah, take turns, and you'd be surprised how much faster it goes. Take turns, will be all right. Daryl, oh, that's the nicest thing. Daryl Taggarty says 2018 has been better because of this show. Thank you, Ray Gibson. No. I tell you what, being able to come in here, talk to you on the radio, that saved my life. I'll tell you that right now. Being able to come in and allow and you allowing me into your life, into your home, into your conscious. There's nothing better than that. And so I'll do that for 4 days next week. And I'm done doing it now for this week. The radio station is KUSG Agana. My name is Ray Gibson. For Kevin Kerrigan and Mike Knight and Blake Watson and everybody else that lifts a hand and pulls on a rope here at the morning show, thanks very much for listening. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll all get together back here on Tuesday morning. Love you, mean it. Bye.
His final trip to Washington. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The body of John McCain has arrived at Joint Base Andrews. His staff and other dignitaries greeting the casket and the McCain family as memorials for the late Arizona senator are set to continue. This morning, the senator was remembered in his home state of Arizona by, among others, friend and former Vice President Joe Biden.
Even though John is no longer with us, he left us pretty clear